Can't say by the pain, ain't but a thing. Nobody says I'm gon' need something else to burn. Daddy and I got nowhere to turn. Nobody be jumping to serve. I'm not in them mix, but don't act like you ain't heard. I passed to you word. Well, work for what I heard. My peace can't get stirred. My mind's still on dreams. Soon as my eyes roll open, come good tokens. I've been training myself to add cheese to the picture. A smile go far, self-grace is worth a million miles. Little change the bit, came a little up. By the time they want the price, the name that went up. Still got work to do, I'm trying daily. Cause don't end up and leave, but I can take it. By now all my demons know I'm praying. By now all my haters know I'm staying. Stack it, flip it, yeah, you know the plan. Feel like I been gave another chance. And it ain't wasted on gambles. Cause I knew I would be this 5 cents in Pampers. They say that he won't put nothing on, you can't handle. So I just see a few more ships on my mantle. Nobody says I'm gon' need something else to burn. Daddy and I got nowhere to turn. Nobody be jumping to serve. I'm not in the mix, but don't act like you ain't heard. I passed to you word. Well, work for what I heard. My peace can't get stirred. Cause I trained myself to find the center on nights. I went no heated winner. Introspection peace when you let nothing out with inner easy. When you go without for dinner. And I wasn't even a teen yet. I learned that from my jeans stretch. I moderate now more cause I'm eating. Yes, I tolerate lactose with the cheese in. The pace is present. Live in the future now. Can't waste a second. Gotta eat beast when I lack protein. Clean drip, it don't even need chlorine. Slim from the dirt and your knees folks green. I can teach them best. It ain't no situation you can't finesse. Keep your head high, learn what you worth for taste. Serve 24 until you in your round of rest. Now thanks for eating Southern Cafe. Here's the check.
Back in my bag, yo. Conscious. ISO. Diamond. Back in my bag and I gotta brag, I do this shit for real. When we was down and we had nothing, we had to share a meal. We put the shit in overdrive with no steering wheel. Shorty throw that thing back in a pair of heels. Yeah, she be riding on that thing like a Ferris wheel. Yeah, I love them dark skin, brown skin, caramel. You know I had to bring it to the hood like she Karen Civil. When she keep on turning head, cause when she walk that thing jiggle. And we going back to back on them like we Huey and we Riley. This that back in my back, flow, we back again so highly. This that back in my back, flow, we back to change the climate. This that back in my back, flow, we bring the force like Tommy. Back in my back, flow. Back in my, yeah, back in my bag, yeah. I'm back in my, yeah, I'm back in my bag, yeah. I'm back in my, this my, back in my bag, flow. Back again, yeah, we keep on stacking it, what's happening? Everything in Gucci got me feeling like I'm dapper then. Life has been a movie, yeah, so shout out to the cameraman. Pull up to the scene, it's going down like an avalanche. Steady going up like a travel plan. Homer Simpson face, lucky power plant. Yeah, I'm off that dope, like I'm back again to Vizzy. At the Millies, out on Club Hearst. Give the word if it's a city, Lord forgive me. Still having motion, dog, so why would I slow it? Make it rain on them, bust a band, then you throw it. We was steady having it, even at our lowest. High speed road runner, keep my motor going. Hey, people feel away, but they don't show it. Gotta watch the people that's around you, that you grow it. They be coming around you with some plans to steal your moment. Soon as I bust a nut, she be like, baby, where you going? Never slowing down, it's enough to go around. Yeah, you probably knew it's then, but really you don't know it's now. Niggas let it show and tell, but all my niggas know me well. It was either chase a dream or go to jail, but none of us ain't going. Going back to back on them like we Huey and we Riley. This that back in my back, flow, we back again so highly. This that back in my back, flow, we back.
A little bit, but are you high on cigarettes? And when that stuff runs out, you're gonna wanna make it. Are you high on cigarettes?
Let's watch Juron's Witness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juron's Witness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juron's Witness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juron's Witness and get high on cigarettes. Do you know that you're right or wrong? 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 He don't smoke them, but he loves it when you do. That's why he's high on cigarettes. And if you find him, you should light him up with you. He's getting high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juron's Witness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juron's Witness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch Juron's Witness and get high on cigarettes. Let's watch you once witnessed and get high on cigarettes? Do you know that you're right or wrong? 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 Do you know that you're right or wrong?
Yeah. You vibes in the word. What a wait. Late night creeps where the shadows grin. Juvons in the cut, let the games begin. With a flick of the blade, we dive in the sin. It's a marathon groove, not a race to win. The clock don't sleep, the knives don't pause. Chasing thrills, no time for applause. The world spins mad on Juvon's claws, where the edge cuts deep in the night's gray jaws. Sit and spin under the neon glow. Wide awake where the insomniacs go. Feel the steel flash, let the adrenaline flow. Juvon's night flicks, it's the live late show. It's the live late show. Right. It's the live late show. We're too sharp to dull, too fast to catch. Each blade is the spark making midnight hatch. In the zone we own on this Twitch dispatch, where the world sits still but the vibes still match. Time's a blur in the sleepless den. Every move's a twist, that slice in the zen. Juvon's got the rhythm, the pulse of man. Locked in the spin till the morning end. Sit and spin under the neon glow. Wide awake where the insomniacs go. Feel the steel flash, let the adrenaline flow. Juvon's night flicks, it's the live late show. It's the live late show. We're the wake, we're the ride. It's the live late show. It's the live late show. Yeah. It's the live late show. Yeah. Till the morning. We're the wake.
Kinder, Yibbo Shaky. Me unscrabbly. Shaka doobie! Doubly chaka doobie! Pop swabble.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I missed everybody Friday night. It was very weird because I tuned in to said faction because we were back at the room. It felt like I should have gone live, but there was no really way to go live. Very Good Knife Company is in the house. Jacob and his lovely better half I got to meet and spend time with at the show. Some of the finest fixed blades out there, guys. Y'all have seen him on the channel. I'm a huge fan. Good to see you, buddy. I go through and say hello to everybody real quickly. Then I'm going to go through my haul from Blade Show, which is different than most people's hauls because somehow this year when I walked around, I was attracted to and picked up a lot of fixed blades of all sizes, shapes, and persuasions that I look forward to sharing with you guys over the next couple of weeks, but we'll show them all tonight. Marco is always here first. What's up, Marco? Good to see you, brother. Jesse's in the house. My man, Fed Harrison, channel member, who I spent a good bit of time with at Blade Show. It's always great to see Fed. He is the man, the myth, the legend that you would expect. We have Henry G in the house. Good to see you, Henry. What is up, brother? I hope y'all can hear me. We'll see what's going on. Richard Hopkins, my buddy. What's going on, Richard? Channel member. Good to see you, my man. I thought I'd get in here a little earlier, but you know how that goes. I got back from Blade Show. Tippy was sick. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if it was old age. She bounced back. She's resilient as shit now. So maybe it's just a little, ate something funky. I don't know. Paul Mills is in the house. The man. What is up, Paul? Channel member. Good to see you, buddy. We've got to drag you to Blade Show sometime next year. Again, it doesn't matter which year you go. This year for me, I've been trying to put it into perspective, and I'll talk about it more in a little while. My experience and why I feel like this year, on a lot of levels, was a great blade show. A lot's changed in terms of memories of the past, but this one was by far the most epic. Ron Crow, channel member, what's in the house, buddy? Howdy, howdy. What's in the house? Did I just say what's in the house? My voice is back, but my brain's not. So I apologize for that, Ron Crow. Good to see you, brother. What is going on? Fed, I couldn't get my lawnmower started before I left, and I had to get a landscape guy to come by and cut mine. I've got to figure out what's going on with my mower. Because if I don't let it get high, it's not an ass kicker, but it was going to be brutal. El Cap Addict channel member, what is up, buddy? Good to see you, my man. Shane and I put several miles on your strop Thursday night. We sharpened the diamonds off one of my plates, sharpening about 8 knives, and Shane's heat treats are so freaking sick. It was an experience. It was very nice to sharpen, good steel, good heat treats, and you can tell a difference on the TS Prof. I can definitely tell a difference with some of the imported steels that I sharpen versus when I sharpen a good steel with a good heat treat. In a lot of different persuasions and HRCs, you can just feel a lot in the burn. I find it therapeutic unless you're trying to do 8 before blade show. Jacob, what's up? Very good knife company. Guys, we will go peruse all the knives that they have. They were on my video. I'm going to put a short up of them too that just focuses on their booth because they had so much buzz around their booth. They have so many different, what I call task or purpose-driven knives. If you're a lineman, they've got 3 knives, 4 knives specifically that would work in your tool bag. If you're a bushcrafter, they've got knives for that. If you're an EDC guy that just likes to cut stuff, they've got knives for that. Just very amazing company, very, very nice people. That's one thing that I talk about at Blade Show. It's all about the people. A lot of it's about the people that I connect with online. But then, what's up, Douglas Wagner? But then going around and meeting a lot of these people that I kind of consider my heroes, people that make stuff that I oogle after, that I really appreciate the workmanship, the art. And then you meet these people and you find out that they're humble, they're appreciative, they're very, very forthcoming and helpful for other makers that are looking to avoid maybe some pitfalls that they can't get through. I've never seen a group of people that professionals, these makers, these designers that will work together to solve problems and help younger, not necessarily in years, but in experience makers. Il Cap Addict, that says you didn't watch all my video. Mine was an hour. I stitched it together, and Jacob was kind of towards the end, so I've got to break that up and do it in more bite-sized pieces. I've been trying to put shorts on Instagram too, because what I did is I walked around for 2 days, and I would take 2 hours out of each day to go around. I had a list in my book of booths I wanted to see and went and would film those booths. Sometimes I'd get there and it'd be so crowded that there was no way. I really felt bad because I got to Mag 10 Knife Works, my buddy Colin McGuire up in New England, who made my EDW, one of the nicest guys and a great maker, great forger, if that's a word. He has a little forge. He makes his own Damascus. But I got to his table on Sunday and he was sold out except for one knife. He's like, dude, I'm sold out. I was like, well, that's a good problem to have. And that problem I saw with a lot of people, especially smaller makers. Donnie Bliss, super proud for him and Ernie. I mean, they were there, had some beautiful knives, and really got a great reception, which is a launch board. I mean, just huge. And Sharif had an epic blade show. The Aurelia was probably one of the biggest hits. Just an absolutely fantastic knife. OEM by Riot, designed by Fed. Dude, you're so good. I mean, you guys are such nice people, and the fact that you were so helpful, and I won't, but Edgy American appreciates you taking the time. I mean, you are You really sat there, and he was looking for that type of feedback, and it's huge. He put his knife in a lot of people's hands that I think will help him in so many different areas. His first plan was to go over there and, he had a good many thugs and see if we could move some, but he wasn't happy at all with his sheaths. They're really blade covers because most of the guys in the community that buy knives from Shane have somebody local make a leather sheath because we all like leather sheaths, right? But Shane wants to make a good Kydex sheath, and he realizes that the first impression of a knife is a sheath. And I think a lot of that, if you look at very good knife company sheaths, some of the best in the game, TKL does it differently, but they're fantastic sheaths. I love them because of the multiple mounting points. Again, a totally different purpose driven knife. This one is one that I'll show you because I almost got stitches when I picked it up. This is an MP1. So when you look at this Warncliffe, this flat part that would normally be the spine, is a sharpened edge. So this is a wicked call. Super, super devastating type of tactical blade, self-defense blade. Or if you're doing a lot of squats where you're cutting cardboard backwards, this would probably be really handy. But I just thought it was so cool, so unique, and has such a specific purpose. You come a sneaking, I'm going to leave you leaking. I thought it was super cool. Run you through just kind of real quickly. Let me go through and make sure I say hey to everybody. Mad Jacob, what is up, brother? And then I'm just going to show you guys carry development. Guys, one of the first, I traded for a knife 2 years ago. I forgot who I traded it from, but it was a early generation carry development Hydra, a little knife with rich light scales that I really, really like. And every time I'd post it, carry development would comment, "Oh man, that's one of my first knives." The same way a lot of these builders feel when they have an old knife out there and they've improved their process and their product so much. I think personally that it's nostalgic to have earlier models just to see where people go. But this is the Banshee. What I love about this knife is, for one, the way that Tim does the sheath. You'll notice this is a pancake sheath. And you guys know I'm a pocket dropper guy. So when I stick this in my back pocket, it fits very well because that flat pancake is not printing as much, right? But this little guy is a Nitro V, small, little Warncliffy sheep's foot knife with super comfortable jimping, super comfortable. The first time I've owned any, I think it's called Grip Tech scales. It looks like G10, but it's got a little natural, kind of organic tackiness. And this is Nitro V. I think it's 62.5. I know Shane was impressed with it, but a really nice little knife, little package. I am stoked to check it out. It's very, very sharp. And Carry Development had a great show. They had a lot of knives at the booth. Again, if you look at the Hydra, and when I do the video, I will show that because I still carry and love that little knife. Now, he did have some Hydras at the table, and they have matured greatly. And I just love to see that. I've got an early Null Knives from Naff Sargent, one of the first 5 knives that he made, a Squall. And every time I post it, he's like, "Oh, dude," people get embarrassed, but to me, I'm like, don't forget where you came from. And it was an awesome knife. It cuts great. It's Magna Cut. Maybe it's not as refined, but this little Carry Development and Carry Development knives in general are made to get things done. And one of the things that Tim took time out of his day at the table was specifically his sheaths are so impressive, to give Shane some tips on a couple of things that he uses to make his sheath construction that much better. And this is felt line. So if you guys have ever carried your SIG or your Glock in a really nice Kydex holster, this is what this reminds me of. Just a great little small pocket dropper. Uses the deep concealment clips that I really like. They're lighter than Ulti clips, and they seem to not rust like Ulti clips seem to do in Alabama, where I am. Kathleen Smith, where are you? Ed Harrison, been an absolute member for over 2 years. Guys, I'm giving him a hug. I hope it's not too loud. If it is, tell me and I'll turn it down. Ed, thank you, brother, for your support. Man hugs for everybody. Donnie did great. And then he had a lefty left over. He sold it before he left Atlanta on a live stream. So Donnie sold out. American Blade Works, I was with Michael Martin and his son on Saturdays when I filmed their booth. By Sunday afternoon, they sold out. I was so happy to see that. He's the nicest guy. That's the first time I've had to talk to him. Said Stevie was a big part of my Blade show. And again, because it's all about the people, but it's always awesome hanging with Stevie and seeing what shenanigans he and Shane get into. And I was blessed to be with Shane and Ryan Ellis were kind of my tour guides and the reason that I was even able to get to Blade Show this year. They made it possible. And it was, again, for reasons I can talk about and reasons I can't, it was absolutely epic. It was transformative. I mean, I had a great time with the people. I met a lot of people. I got to hang out at the pit with Jacob and his wife from Very Good Knife Company. Spent a lot of time with Colin McGuire, Mag 10 Knife Works, one of my favorite kind of art, stabby, cool makers who does some really neat stuff, different stuff, handcrafts his own Damascus. You know, he smelts that out or whatever you call it. And got to hang out with the guy that is part owner of my local knife store, Knives and More, was over there. And the guy that works with him that went to some heavy metal concert Saturday night. So he'd gotten ghosted. I wish I'd gotten his message before he went to the Kaiser dinner because I would have pulled him along. Nice guy. We hung out after the Kaiser dinner in the pit and got to talk to him. I learned a lot about how knife stores have to take into consideration when they're bringing on new products and how that has to fit into their space. And I always, like I told him, I was like, hey, you know, you guys have space. He was like, well, John, you got to think about the space of the knife and what knife is it going to replace under the glass. You know, it becomes micro real estate, if you will, as it were. All right, I'm going to show you guys some things real quick. I'm just going to run through some knives. We looked at the Carry development. This is the only imported knife I picked up. And the reason I picked it up is it was $40. I'm a big fan of Concept and Tenable. And this is a Tenable knife. It is a Jonathan Styles, USA Designers collab. And what was so good about the Tenable booth this year is they had some YouTube creators and some designers back there. So they probably had 70%. I mean, it was just a great mix of people that could engage the audience, the crowd. And I saw this little knife, thought it was really cool. I don't know how much it's going to be when it hits the market, but it'll be under 60, 70 bones, I would guess. But super nice little knife. For $40, I couldn't resist. And I was so happy and told them so that I was glad to see this with a regular clip instead of that big tech lock on the back. But guys, small fixed blades are in. I saw everybody and their brother had them. Again, I walked past more than I stopped and looked at because I had a list and just to see the 17, 18 booths that I really wanted to see. It's time consuming because really the main reason is you get sidetracked with people, which is the main reason I'm there. Walking around with people that were just absolutely awesome, like Derek For Real. Just a lot of people. The Dead Sober Gideon sold out at Blade Show. Shout out to Broke Ass Knives. I've got a Gideon. I don't have it on the table here, but that is a fantastic knife. It's actually going to be Saturday's member giveaway knife. So Saturday morning when we have our little put a word in the box, you guys stop by. and win that Gideon because it's a fantastic knife. I love it, but in all truth, I'd rather pass it along to one of you guys so you can enjoy it. Joe Isabella is in the house. Channel member, what is up, brother? Jeffrey Dawson's in the house. Who else has snuck in? All right. One of the ones that I'm really excited with, and y'all can roast me if you want, but this is the Warney EDC, the Melissa Backwoods collaboration. And I'm going to show you why this knife really excites me. It uses the same blade profile as the Agent 02 and several other Warncliffe blades, but they did some handle mod. So it comes with a little Kydex sheath. And this clip on the back is the new Ulti clip, which won Best Design and Accessories at the show. It's a belt clip. It's just a little wire clip that allows you to wear this scout carry on your belt. And this knife right now has an extended handle. So the knife comes to right there. And if you see where that black starts, it looks like a backspacer. That's where these scales go together. You can also buy handles that incorporate a ring. That's how Melissa Backwoods on her video shows it. She carries it with a ring on the back, like a ring knife. But this little guy, the Warncliffe, is so wicked. It is so nice. And right now in this configuration, I'm guessing it's going to be a little over 6.5 inches. But then I didn't get the ring. I chose the longer scales. It is the same size as the TKL Piranha, which is one of their smaller knives. So with the standard scales, it's a little guy. And it's really comfortable in my hand. I just wanted to see how it looked with the longer scales, and I like it. I'll probably keep them on for a while, but it's just a little petite 80 CRV2 CNC USA made over in Georgia, banger of a knife. Love this little guy. Also picked up their leather sheath, which makes it a pocket dropper. Back pocket all day long. So I was really stoked to get that. That's the thing. The second thing I got on the first day. The first day and the first thing that I bought, which, full disclosure, had I been willing to wait, and they had even told me that they would have sent me one, and I was like, no way, the value is right up there. I can afford it, and I want to do a video on it. This is Three Rivers Manufacturing tag along. Let me bring somebody up here real quick and we'll keep going. Hey, buddy.
What's going on, guys?
Man, I'm just going through the fixed blade haul real quick. How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing absolutely great.
Keep an eye on the chat for me. I'm just kind of watching these so I can keep them under camera.
What's up, Stevie? Yeah,
so this is the first guy I picked up. And what's cool about this little knife is it's little. It's about the same size as a TRM Nerd when it's open. It comes with this sheath, which is a taco leather sheath, or you can get a pancake leather sheath, which comes out a little bit further for the back pocket. This is the ones they had in. And what's cool about this knife too, the reason I wanted to rush the video out, is they hit the website on the 12th, which I think is the day after tomorrow. They're going to go live. And they're under 170 bones, right around 170 bones. You can choose one of 4 or 5 micarta handles right now. And the blade steel is, I'm hoping this is the notes. I've filmed so much stuff lately. A steel called P as in Paul, S as in Sally, and B as in boy 27, PSB 27. So I didn't know what that was. And I had to Google it. And it's basically a type of steel that's powder metallurgy that utilizes some kind of spray forming, which I don't understand. But the end result is it makes a superior product. It's similar to D2, but it has more chromium. It has more toughness, more edge retention. And again, guys, this is a small knife, so I'm not worried about batoning it or anything like that. Super comfortable. Really cool. Again, not everybody likes little bitty knives, but that's kind of my weakness.
Well, you got small hands too, so.
Well, yeah, but I was talking to Lee, the I guess the CEO, the dad, the main PRM guy, and I asked him where these designs come from, and he says he designs them. And he designed that knife kind of like TKL did with that little DP1 that seems tiny. Back in the old days, he said he used to carry a small fixed blade in his pocket every day. I don't think it was that uncommon. And I'm talking little guys, that they just used to cut twine, open whatever they opened. But really cool stuff.
Yeah. I like smaller fixies too.
Well, I mean, to me, it's kind of where I've jumped off kind of down the deep end. I like a bigger fixie, but as big as I really like is about 7 or 8 inches, unless I'm going camping. Yeah. This is a little, you come sneaking, I'm going to leave you leaking. Slurpee saver only. Be a good box cutter. It's a TKL. It is sharpened kind of at the front. So if you're going to ram it into somebody.
Yeah, I stopped by their booth at Blade Show, man. They have a lot of really cool fixies.
Well,
almost picked a couple of them up. I really
what's interesting with them is a lot of their knives come to be because of contracts. This is the MP1, for example. And the MP1 stands for Marine. It's the Marine Scout swimming team had this knife made. So they have different departments. Like, did you see that big screwdriver thing that they have there? Yeah. That's a special. That's weird. That's weird. Did everybody go? Could you not see yourself anymore?
Yeah, everything went blank.
That was whack. But anyway, a little purpose-driven knife. This is called the Nightshade Warncliffe or Nightshade Reverse Combo. They also have a Nightshade Warncliffe. And lastly, well, 2 more. This one, I almost got stitches when I picked it up.
I remember that one. You got to be careful with that one.
This one I learned when I read about it. It's designed for a pacaw grip. So it's designed to be used like that. The blade is on the top. So when I went up to the booth, I had my finger up here and the young lady was screaming at me that was packing them up. Really wicked knife though, whether you're cutting cardboard from going down or up, or if you're looking to puncture pumpkins, it would be a good pumpkin carver. But very wicked knife.
That is a dangerous knife.
It is. Not as dangerous as the one Shane got. I think Shane probably got the most dangerous knife of the weekend.
Bro, that thing is wild.
And then lastly, I met, and it was one of the nicest conversations, a very, very humble guy, Igor from Straight Line Knives. This is where my little Ernie and that little alley that I did the review on from White Mountain Knives came from. This guy worked at MKM, Maniago Knife Makers, for about 10 years in sales, and he did some design. And he is, because in Europe, there's a lot of restrictions on folding, locking knives, but little fixed blades are pretty popular. So this is one of his new designs. He had 2 new designs in addition to the Ernie and the Alley, and this is the Digger. And what I didn't realize about this is M390 and micarta. Really well done. You know, it's got an Italian heat treat. I don't know how good it is. It'll be fine for cat food. But this is a collaboration. between David C. Anderson, the knife maker from Knife Center, the big guy that does all their social media, Ryan, the big guy from Knife Center.
Yeah.
He is also a knife designer.
Okay.
And this is his.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's had some David C. Anderson, some really nice custom knives that he's made all the way through.
What's up, B Shady?
Just a sweet little blade. I like the shape of it. The other one was a little bit more traditional. Jaeger EDC, what is up? David Anderson, that's exactly right. This is the Digger, his design. But Igor, I will have no problem continuing to consume these knives and support him. I wish him nothing but the best. He was one guy at a table, and he was so engaging with everybody that stopped by there. Super nice guy. And that's the thing that is also an advantage of Blade Show. And I think we saw it with Tim Reeves, our first stop, when we got to Blade Show, is the enthusiasm these makers have, not just for their products, but for their customers.
Right.
We learned that when we talked to Casey Lynch. That was a recurring conversation.
Man, was Casey not one of the coolest dudes?
I would say he was one of my top fives. He was a surprise because I'd never met him face to face. I'd always heard from Stevie what a great guy he was, but I sent him a follow-up email just telling him what a nice time it was spending in his booth and how nice it was to meet him. And thanks for letting me film it. Yeah. And he already sent me an email back saying anytime he enjoyed meeting me. Hey, Kathleen Smith.
Yeah,
Kathleen, I'm going to turn it over to Ryan here in just a little while. And he did get some. Stevie, he is, man. I can see how y'all got it hit it off so well. And his son, I know he has several, I think, that work with him, but he had I want to say redheaded, ginger-headed, curly, a little bit taller than Casey, that was talking to me. That was the two of them, because I was really interested in the Sparrow. And what I'd noticed when I was looking at all the Sparrows and I filmed them, the ones on the left still had the CNC grind lines on them. And as you looked at the ones down the right in the case, they didn't have any more grind lines. And I asked Casey, I said, Casey, are they different blade steels? Or, I'll have like ABW and Alex Steingraber on his Lamia. Gotcha. Then it would have been Justin that I got to speak with, unless Daisy's a dude too.
Yeah,
but,
I think we met Justin.
I thought maybe he just left them on some and took them off others, depending on what people liked. And he said, no. He goes, you won't believe this. And this is just a story that kind of reverberated walking around with Shane, and the way people like Jacob at Very Good Knife Company, Tim at Carry Development, and everybody just jumped in to answer any of Shane's questions. But it was just...
What's up, War Room?
War Room, what is up? Got to meet him. I'll lose my train of thought. I already did.
I missed War Room. I didn't even know he was there until after. I think we were on the way home.
What is up, brother? But Casey said something that reverberated through the show. He said, well, you won't believe this. I was trying to figure out how to get my grinds better where I wouldn't mess them up. And I reached out to Tim Reeves. Never had a conversation with him before. He doesn't really know me from anybody. And I've always liked his grinds. And he goes, guys, he spent, what'd he say, Ryan? He said he spent
a while.
Yeah, just telling him things that would have taken Casey, he said, 20 years to learn.
Yeah, he said he didn't gatekeep anything.
No, he didn't gatekeep a thing. And that's how he was able to have both styles there, because he was able to finish some before Blade Show to kind of get feedback. And I think they just looked great. I got to hold one for a little while because Stevie let Shane and I take one to sharpen it. And there's a story behind that, because Stevie's got sharpened by Wicked Edge Sharpening, as did a couple of others, because we ran out of diamonds. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, but Shane's K390 without a edge bevel, when we had to start at, I forget what the thickness was, but we had to put the bevel on it. God, that was brutal. That was a 3-hour grinding, sanding, sharpening job. I bumped into War Room, and again, it's so hard to see not only everybody there. I did not see Stasa. I wanted to see him. I didn't see, there were several other people I didn't see. I saw Dave Warren from Tuya Knives in the hall talking to Shane and I, but I never got to go to his booth. There's just it's just,
I was going to try to meet BEDC there. I didn't see him all weekend, and just learned that he was at the Kaiser dinner and everything.
we were sitting on the bar looking out over the street. I
never
sitting
saw
with
him
with Lute and his wife, and
I bet I walked right by him 2 or 3 times.
Well, you guys were sitting facing the other way, right, at the table, looking towards where everything was, and we were back on that back little half bar that just looked out over the street. So you had to turn straight around. He was right behind you the whole time. But he had 3 knives that I got to check out, 2 that are Kaiser collabs, and 1 that is going to be one of his knives. And it was just awesome. No, BEDC I didn't see either. I'm thinking about New Breed EDC.
Oh, okay.
Well, he was at the Kaiser dinner, but Vu was at the Kaiser dinner. Vu Fam. I saw pictures of him. Now that the show's over, I'm seeing stuff that was posted.
Yeah,
I didn't get to say hi to him.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people that were there that I never saw, and of course, you know how it is. Some people, I guess I may have met, but was in such a rush that I don't remember it.
Well, you think about it, it's overwhelming.
Friday. Hardly any at all.
Wouldn't you agree that as great as it is, it's overwhelming? It's like an Etch-a-Sketch after every corner you take. It's like somebody shakes it.
Extremely. I remember. I don't remember getting there Friday. I remember meeting Tim Reeve, and I remember going to ABW booth.
Maddie,
after that, everything is gone as of right now. I can't remember anything.
Well, and what's funny is as time goes on, it sinks back in. And I remember mile points from following you around, and I'm going to let you talk about what your blade trip for a first blade show. You were enthusiastic, and you were on a quest for a few knives that you wanted, and then you realized that you had an opportunity at Blade Show. If you buy the right knives and you're a collector, you're never going to leave there and be like, if I ever needed to roll any of these, I would make a return on my investment, because you're getting them at table price. And the type of knives that Ryan was after were special, and nobody gets, you might get 2 of those at a Blade Show. The universe provides, man. And again, I think it was as much a joy for Ryan as all of us that got to witness Ryan and Scott Sobek, Scotty Scooter. Love him to death. I sent him a message today of, I've since I first got in the community, chat rooms with Grateful Panic's lives, and we talked on the phone, but I'd never met him because he always has an anniversary this weekend. It just worked out that he was able to come. And he was a joy, but Ryan, walking around with him, watching him experience everything for the first time and meet a lot of people, because Ryan's been in the community. What did we decide, Ryan, where you've been active in here, kind of knowing guys?
6 months or so, something like that.
And just meeting so many people and being so open to meeting people. And, I think that made it special for him. But I know what made it special for me was watching him enjoy it. And dude, did you make out like a bandit? Your video today was great. Guys, I'm going to take you to a video that I'm going to share that's chronically underviewed right now. Give me 2 seconds. Ryan, chat with these people while I'm behind the scenes.
Oh, you're good. You're good, man.
If anybody chats
how
out
are you
anything,
doing, buddy? So there may be several of you I've met on Friday that I may not remember as of right now. I've completely blanked out on Friday. I was going to make a video and kind of talk about
do a summary.
Yeah, and I can't remember. I don't have much to talk about for Friday as far as memory goes.
Just because you had so much probably adrenaline going in.
Oh, I did. And the thing about it is I didn't realize it at the time. It wasn't until about midday Saturday when I realized how wild everything was,
And see, I can't fill you in, because after you got to Chris Reeves, you and Shane boogied over to, I think, Edgy Blade Works. Yeah. And that's when I ran.
He was gone. He was empty by the time we got there.
How do you like your tipper? I know it's not the same, But
I
for
do. I like it. It's I mean, I don't know if it's the same or not. I don't have anything to compare it to. I mean, it's got a great
I know
action. I do like the knife.
it's not the same. I mean, again, his knives are unbelievable, but it is very, very good.
Yeah.
Ryan put up a video today where he kind of just, and I think he did a great job recapping it the way he experienced it. And I'm going to let him just kind of, Maddie, you know, the chickadee doesn't fold. The tipper does fold, but the chickadee, I hate to say it's going to come out on top, buddy. Craig Vincent, what's up? Ed, what is going on, buddy? So Friday, do you remember? Because you picked up the Freeman Friday too, right? But do you not really remember that order on how you grab stuff?
I can tell you what knives I picked up on Friday because I can remember Saturday.
Gotcha. Because
So
I know
yes, I did not pick up the Freeman on Saturday. I know I got the Chris Reeve on Friday, and the Slippy I got it on Friday.
Hey, Mr. Eddie.
So
T-Metal.
I had to get a new Sleepy because Maddie stole mine. So now Shane, he got a really cool Sleepy. He got his is anodized and personalized and all that stuff. That's from everybody in the community.
That was dude. That was
really cool.
epic. That was
really cool.
Walking, and I was blessed to have caught back up to y'all to walk over there. And I think you told me like right before we got to the booth. And I don't know if I told y'all, but I bumped into Michael and his son Sunday afternoon after I snuck in. They sold out. Everything.
Good.
Yep.
I figured they probably would. I was actually surprised they weren't sold out Saturday, to be honest with you.
Well, when you look at the prices and the automatic that he's going to be bringing out.
Oh, that thing was sweet.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. That was sweet. He's done. I'm not even a huge automatic fan, but that thing was smooth. It don't jump out of your hand. Like it's nicely done, which most all his stuff is anyway.
I wasn't a big automatic fan till probably year 2 because I was all about chasing action. But then I realized I could one hand operate them.
Yeah.
And it's like anything else. You get into it.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're cool. I went by and met Gavin Hawk. I'd never met him, but I'd seen his video. And I just walked by and said, hey, I hate that you're going through what you're going through. Saw your video. Thought it was great. I think the community's behind you because Microtech came out, made a video, and they didn't address the specific patents that you talked to. They just talked about patents they had. And I said, I just want you to know, keep your head up. He goes, you don't know how much that means to me. And I was like, wow, that's weird. You would think somebody like that would hear that all the time. And he was just very, very kind, courteous. He gave me a Hawk shirt. I said, buddy, I hope to have one day, but save that for somebody who'll buy it. He goes, no, I want you to have it, man. So like, appreciate it. And ironically, I bought the Zero Blade play like 3 days before that drama started. So I feel like I was the butterfly effect that started that bullshit drama. But I carried it to Blade Show, but I didn't carry it in Blade Show. I can't get really behind it because I feel like it was bad. So much so that when I was filming Axial's booth, my audio's fine through the fixed blades. And when I get to the shift OTFs, I went a little ham because I just talk off the top of my head. And when I got back to the room stitching it together, I realized I could get sued from a weirdo by this. So I had to delete the sound. So you watch my video and you get to the Axial booth and it's just silent movie. And I put a comment in the, nobody reads that in the description of sorry, Paper Tiger, what's up? I said something that made me nervous because, it happens.
No.
You could call it defamation, what I said. Well, I went a little hard in the paint. I said, very much like Microtech, but I think a better value, USA made, and they don't steal other people's designs, which they may. I don't know. I'm not a sleuth. But the history of that, Ryan, before I think you were probably in the community, I think it might have been Steve Kalari. Somebody went to Smoky Mountain Knife Works and asked where the Axials were. And the guy at the counter said, well, Axials are no longer in the store. It was Justin at OCD for EDC who you met, who had Shane's Rex 141 knife.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's like,
That's
really?
good.
He was very investigative himself. Oh, really? So he looked into it and found out that Microtech, through their kind of bully relationship with a lot of these dealerships, had basically told them, you have to pull them out. They're too close to our designs. They're USA made, which to me, to bully another USA company when you're a USA company, that's cold. But
Yeah.
then dig into it, and I'll let y'all Google Microtech lawsuits or did Microtech sue his son, or you can Google other things and you'll find stuff that'll go, wow, these people are. Yeah, look, what's funny is on his Instagram, he's always like cooking, making shit in the kitchen. And I'm thinking this dude has got Napoleon syndrome in a big way. But you would think that you could call your son up who has Heretic. Is it Heretic Knives that his son owns? And support him. Hey, Joseph S. But evidently there's a lot of that, because I know of another company that's dealt with some of that interfamily strife, which to me is just inferred a lawsuit was in progress and got them pulled. Yeah, Todd, but nobody ever found the lawsuit. It was never filed. And anytime you file a suit, it's public. Now, I don't know if they settled something behind, and I didn't do the research. I just remember the videos that were coming out. And I think OCD for EDC was kind of the one looking into that. I could be wrong, because I can't remember what happened yesterday, much less what happened years ago.
John's like an etch a sketch.
I am. You shake me, and I'm gone. So Saturday, what was your first? We went to the Chris Reeves booth first.
Yeah, that was Friday. Yeah, I don't. After ABW, everything was kind of a blur for Friday. I know I picked up some odds and ends stuff. I did get the Dixon on Friday, the McNeese Dixon.
Right.
Now I remember standing there struggling with this one. I didn't know if I wanted the blue or the green.
And Shane was the one that talked you off the ledge of buying both of them, which was friendly.
Well, yeah, kind of. Actually, believe it or not, one of his reps actually told me, "Don't worry, we've got plenty of these back here." He said, "I've got plenty of blues and greens back here." He said, "They'll be back. They'll still be here tomorrow."
And I'll tell you a trick, which just in the future, people like Lord Needham, and he told me that's how I got my mini Arius. Is he didn't know which one he wanted. He had the money. He bought both, knowing that when he decided after looking at them both for a week or two, which one he liked better, he could sell the other one.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking too, is, but after I slept on it, I made the right decision. I like the blue a lot better than the green. So that's what I've got.
It's such a sexy knife. I mean, I think it's just the way that hole comes to a little triangle point at the top. It just catches.
I don't know if you can see Let
me make you bigger.
It's kind of hard to see in this, but it's like blue, and where the paint is kind of worn off, or the anodization, whatever they did here. I don't know. I can't get it to focus, but it looks brass. So it's a really cool effect. It's really cool color. I mean,
the detent's on point too.
Oh gosh, man, this thing is just a great knife. There's no
Paul, buckle up. He's just getting started. This guy, I witnessed him have an epic blade show.
Yeah, unexpected. I knew I was going to get one of my grills.
You recently added one, so you handled it, didn't you, Terry? Because it feels great, dude. I love the size of it. I love my Mac 2. Don't get me wrong, but I will. The Dixon's definitely a winner.
Yeah,
but if you don't like holes or you don't like,
it's light for it to be such a full size knife. It's light.
It's very light, and the hollow grind is sick.
Yep. Great action. I highly recommend it if anybody wants one. It's definitely worth the money.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama, baby. War Eagle.
Yeah, exactly. He actually signed my box. Roll Tide.
Are they? I guess he is a Bama fan.
Yeah, definitely.
Donnie, we were just talking about you. Donnie, bless
What's up, Donzo?
Had an epic show too.
Donnie did have a good show. That was the first time I got to handle some of his knives, and I'll go ahead and tell everybody right now, if you could get his action in y'all's hands, y'all need to experience some of his knives. It's got a great action.
And looking at the back spacer and the floating back spacer.
Oh my gosh, it's so sexy.
And I think Ryan decided instead of picking one there, he's just going to have one built the way he wants it. But yeah, Donnie, congratulations, buddy. Y'all killed it. And I heard you sold the lefty on your live.
Yeah, that's why I already sold that lefty on it before you even got home.
Well, and the other thing is the people that didn't buy, how many people know his knives that got to experience them, who got to hold them, right?
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's something to think about. How many custom makers did you see there that had left-handed knives? I didn't see any. Donnie's the only one.
Donnie's the only one I saw.
Yeah.
And he had such a positive attitude about it. He didn't expect to sell it. He knew that eventually somebody'd buy it. And that's having something, looking out for, I think it's 10% or less. Yeah. Donnie, Jacob says hello. Dude, Donnie, you do it if you didn't know any of us. It's just a matter of people finding your stuff. Your stuff is next level. And the fact that you do it by hand, it's just wizardry, dude.
Yeah.
You keep doing it, and you'll be able to just turn business away.
Yeah. Another pickup I got on Friday was I've been looking at a Concept Cairo. I've always liked the knife, the way it looked, but I had never messed with one. So I went by the Concept booth at some point. I don't remember when it was, and the only one they had was a bougie one. But the action of this knife is another one that's just absolutely, well, I said that, but I'm not really a massive fan of the way this looked, but I got a stupid good price on it. And I just went ahead and picked it up. But it's a good knife. It's another one that just absolutely wasn't on my list. Not just absolutely, but I just kind of wanted. It was there in front of me. They gave me a good price on it, and so I walked away with it.
And Concept does really cool things. And to keep the price down, they use S35 for one. So their knives retail are under $200, where if you bought a knife with maybe a little bit better blade steel, and their Damascus, they tell you what it is. It's a stainless Damascus that they make, and they tell you what it is, what the mix is. But it's very good stuff. And the designs are clean, and the quality's good for what it is.
Yeah. Especially for what I paid for that. I mean, I paid less than $100 for this.
I mean, you got a great deal for it. Table price, that's what people don't realize, is you can always get deals at Blade Ship.
I think other than the slip joint, I think that's all I picked up on Friday.
The Dixon you got Friday.
Yeah, the Dixon slip joint and the...
Show that Dixon, because that's beautiful if you've got it close. If you don't have it, don't get up.
Yeah.
That's a button lock, guys. Not the Dixon. I'm sorry.
Oh, the Freeman. That's right.
I messed up.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Check that out.
Now, if anybody knows what blade steel this is, I haven't been able to figure it out, but...
Look at that flag.
Where are these things made?
Let me tell you. Hold on. They are made.
I don't know, Maddie. It don't really feel like D2, but...
About us.
I don't know. But this is I didn't even know. I knew nothing about these guys. And I know a little bit more about them now, but Shane took me over to the booth, and I saw a bunch of these sitting there, and I don't know if the microphone's picking that up or not, but
it is the ting.
Bro, the action. I mean, this thing's it's like a brick. It's so big, but I couldn't not walk away with this thing.
Well, so much so that Shane fell in love with the fixed blade.
Oh gosh,
Same
yeah.
table. But yeah, those are Portland, Oregon, I believe.
So anyway, I mean, since then I've looked them up. I know a little bit about them now, but
USA Made
the
Blade
only
has a
thing I
lot.
can't find is what he makes his blade steels out of. That's all.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Yes, it's kind of a mystery. Nobody knows. So, but anyway, I think that was all I picked up Friday, unless I don't have something set in here. So we'll move along to Saturday. Koenig sold out Friday, and they told us that they had a few more they were going to put out on Saturday, and then Sunday they were going to do their auction. By Friday afternoon, their auction on that knife, that full dress Arius, was $15,000. So I didn't even put a number down. I was like, nah, forget that. But so we got there when the doors opened on Saturday. It was really cool. Shane and John both got there. How they kept up with me, I have no idea, because I was at a very brisk walking down through there. And when we got to their booth, I was fourth in line. And by the time I got to the table, they set this down in front of me, and I messed around with it for all of, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds. And I knew it was for me. And when I say, guys, it fits my hand perfect. The action is absolutely addicting. The way it sounds is addicting. Just everything from the weight to the ergos to the action. It's just a perfect knife all the way around. I can't say enough good things about it, really. But that was the first time I experienced an adrenaline dump over a knife.
It did something to you.
Yeah, it did. The fact that I actually got to get one was just beyond exciting. And I got it for cheaper than what I was expecting to pay for it. Really. So.
And that started a 15-minute run of epicness.
It did. It did. So I got this purchase.
Of you with
Do
it.
I know?
Shane took a picture of you with it before we did anything else, and made you look like you were my size.
He did. Now I don't know if everybody knows how tall Shane's tall. He's a very tall guy. I'm 5'11", and I look up at Shane when I'm talking to him. Well, Shane's standing there in front of me, and he's got this camera up over his head, taking a picture of this thing because of the lighting sucks in that place so bad. So it made me look like I was about 3 foot tall, which is pretty awesome. But right after that picture, we went straight over to Strider, and the same thing with Strider. They sold out on Friday, but they kept a few knives for Saturday. And sure enough, they were sitting there, and
they had 3, I think.
Yep. And so within like 5-10 minutes, I picked up 2 of my grills back to back.
On Saturday, the second day of Blade Show.
The second day of Blade Show, of all things. So you talk about excited. I got another adrenaline dump on top of that. And
and it wasn't 10:30 yet.
Yeah. I'm talking the doors had just opened. So just back-to-back grills. So I think after that, Josh, where did I go?
We went to
I can't remember where we went after that. I know I went. That was okay. That was when I went to Hinderer.
And just checked, and looked for the first time.
Right, and I picked up just a random knife, and I didn't like it at all. And
you just had an Aries in your hand, and you just had a Strider, so
yeah. And I also had a very high expectation in my head, and I think it was kind of unfair because I don't know that the expectation I had was like like Arius type expectation of it.
And Hinderer is what people don't realize. You got a full dress, but they're $425 plus 200 if you get a tie scale. So $625, which is still a good bit less than a Hinderer, or excuse me, a Strider or an Arius.
Yeah. So I was like, man, that's just a horrible knife. And I was like, forget it. You know, I'm not doing that. So I got to talking to my new friend Denise, and she was like, no. She was like, buddy, you have put the wrong knife in your hand. And we talked about it for a little while. She talked about a couple of models I needed to try. And this is towards the end of the day, Saturday. She was like, you know what? She's like, we got to go. Let's go up there and look at them. And I put several. I like the Eclipse, but they had one there full tie. But I absolutely hated the color. It was like a blue and purple, and it was just the shade blue that it was. I didn't like it. And yeah, Donnie, I have no doubt you could make that happen. Probably after handling your knives, you're a very talented man. But anyway, so long story short, I'd given up on the big three there, given up on the Trinity, and when we left there,
you headed to Devo.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, we went to Devo right after Strider, and I went there for the tall boy, and I ended up getting the Fireball,
the full dress Fireball.
Yeah. And I had them. I was messing around with both of them, and I just liked the Fireball better. It felt better.
That Mokume backspacer sick. The DLC blade.
Yeah. There we go.
A very cool knife. And I enjoyed visiting with Lefty and Colin. I hadn't seen him in over a year.
That was a really cool visit. You know, he stood there and talked to us for a while. He was just really, really nice guy, really cool guy. I like him a whole lot. Here's the Zon that I got. I don't know if anybody's.
Hey, I saw a video on the lockup of that. That's perfectly normal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Perfectly normal. It goes to 100% in most cases.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yep.
Right. See, I was wondering if I needed to take it back if it was locking up too much, but I also sling my knives open pretty hard too. So,
but if you watch the video, it's the thinness of the knife and it's the way it's designed. Even if you look at the angle on the lock bar, it's a little bit less severe because it's designed to slide over more.
Yeah. So this was the only Chris Reeve that I didn't have.
And he signed the box too and proved to be a very nice guy. You got to meet him.
He did. Tim signed it, Blade Show 25. So that was cool. Yeah, he was really nice and very welcoming too, you know. So hats off to him for that, because they don't have to be that way, you know. Especially when you're up there like Tim Reeve, you know. But he's very down to earth.
I was watching, used to be JD for EDC. Is he BEDC now? It was JD for EDC, but he's got she changed his channel name, but he was doing a video or a live stream, and he's got a Sabenza that he's sending back for a reblade. It's S35, a couple years old. He's got them worked out where they're going to do a Magna Cut blade. You know, he's paying for it, but Chris Reeves has, from what I hear, a really good lifetime warranty.
Yeah.
In terms of
until you put bearings on Sabenza, they
don't take too kindly if you route out there.
If you stick their scales under a mill, it voids the warranty. 100%.
I did not talk to him this year, Luke, because they were so covered up. And I was with Tate Estes, the local part owner of my local knife shop, and they're a huge Protect dealer. But Dave is a very, very nice guy, very engaging, but he was just covered up. Same with Benchmade or Spyderco. I didn't go to either of those booths. Didn't go to Vosteed. Didn't go to, there are a lot that I wanted to see, like Kubi, that I didn't see. I mainly hung around.
I didn't see Kubi there.
They were there.
I know I walked by their booth, but I didn't see them.
Yeah, I didn't stop. I stopped at MKM So I wanted to talk to them, but they were just two people and they were talking to a future dealer. And I stood there for about 20 minutes and I was like, screw it.
Yeah. But yeah, so Saturday night, that was when, or Saturday afternoon at the Kaiser dinner was kind of when Shane started poking the bear a little bit. He's like, I can't believe you didn't get that Hinderer. You know, he's like, I ain't never seen nobody do it in one weekend. Knew you weren't going to do it.
Shane's a good influence, isn't he?
I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So, of course, I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'm going back in there. I'm going to get it. And what I can do is I'm going to get it just for the experience. And then I'll just sell it and get the one I want later, you know. Well, I get there Sunday morning, go straight to Hinderer, and the representative was like, hey, man, we found another full tie in the Jurassic. So I was like, there we go. I put it in my hand, and immediately I fell in love with it. So I can see why everybody likes Hinderer. I do like them.
It's a great knife, and you got so many different knives, all of which are value holding knives. I mean, you could, not that you did it for that, but you could make money on every one you bought, maybe with the exception of the Devo. But what was your favorite purchase?
Well, my favorite purchase, whether y'all want to believe it or not, is actually the Aurelia.
And guys, when I say that Sharif was the star of Blaze Show 2025,
guys, he killed it.
He had more eyeballs on his booth and more people. He never got to leave. I don't know how many he sold, but that knife is OEM by Riot, designed by Sharif, and it feels very Chris Reeve-like, except it's on bearings. But just gorgeous the way that the pocket clip. Now, Ryan won a lottery for a full dress, but the pocket clip indentation's ingenious. The backspace was gorgeous.
That's Damasteel
S90V or Damasteel.
Yeah.
Manganis, that's right, Jaeger.
The funny thing about when he told me this, it was Saturday afternoon. I had made my way back to his booth. I was in that area, so I would stop by there and sit down just for a second. And we would always, interact and talk. And I sat down and kind of took a breath, and he was like, yeah? I was like, yeah, I'm just really tired. It was really weird when I sat there. I felt my body just kind of get really heavy.
Adrenaline dump.
Yeah, it was over. Like, I was like, I am done. And that was kind of when I realized how chaotic the previous 48 hours was. I was like, holy crap. I wish I knew how many steps I took, but anyway, I had just got settled down, and that's when Sharif was like, well, he said, I got some good news for you. He said, he held the knife up. He said, you won the auction. And for about the next 5 minutes, I don't remember anything after that either. I remember holding the knife and my hands were shaking, and somebody told me I looked like a kid, but
you were excited as anything that you found that weekend.
Oh, I was more excited about this than anything. And I said it on my video earlier. I think a lot of that, not only is there's the Aurelia, one of the knives I was going for anyway, but it's just with this knife there was a personal connection. I've gotten to know Sharif a little bit over the past couple of months, and he's just an amazing designer, and he's an even better man.
Fantastic human.
Yeah. And just getting to know him and stuff like that, and knowing that I got one of the few full dressers that he had was just really, really, really good. This is definitely a knife that I don't care what happens. It'll never leave my collection. This one will be in my collection till the day I die.
Well, that's got memories attached to it too.
It does. It does. Like I said, there's a little bit of a personal touch to this.
I don't know if Nick was in here, but he's asking about the show exclusive Devo Fireball, and you happen to pick that one up.
Yep.
Awesome knife.
Absolutely awesome. if anybody is in the market for one, I would suggest the Fireball. This thing has got an amazing action. It feels so nice.
Deep hollow grind.
Yes, very deep hollow grind. I don't know if you can see it or not, but
And I think it's S90, right?
yeah, I think that's what he told me if I remember correctly.
It is.
And
hey, buddy,
but,
get some rest, Donnie, and keep grinding, buddy. You're gonna kill it.
hey, man,
Nick, you're gonna love it.
proud of you, Donnie.
I was very impressed with everything at Lefty's booth. I'd not seen the binge. I'd not seen. I haven't seen any really knives from him this year in person. But like the small boy, which is the mini Fireball, was
Yeah, that
amazing.
was a cool one.
I'm really excited about the Growler XL. He's got a Growler that's a full size. Hey, Donnie's thanking you, brother.
Hey, you're very welcome, Donnie.
But they are. They're doing some unique stuff, some original stuff. I give them that, and I think they're, you know, I've always been a Lefty buddy. I texted him when I got back, and I told him when he gets time, when he breaks away from, or his daughter gets a little bit more independent, that I'd love to do Off the Edge again. We used to do a show run on Saturday nights, Off the Edge, and we would argue every Saturday night about something.
Are you and Lefty?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I finally told him about the super glue thing.
Oh, did you?
I did. I told him, I said, man, I said, you're responsible for ruining 2 pivots. He's like, what? I was like, yeah. I said, I listened to you about the super glue thing. I said, when I went to do a little bit of maintenance, I said, I spent a couple of hours digging super glue out of the pivots, and no.
Did he admit that he doesn't use it anymore, or did he?
No, he told me that I used too much of it. But I mean, to each their own. I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. You know, I wasn't really mad at him.
I know, Cap. I jumped into one last week. It is. I'm sorry. The small boy is the mini tall boy. I said Fireball because Ryan went over to get a Fireball, and I've got an Etch a Sketch brain, so I apologize. But you're exactly right, D Metal. And it's bigger, I think, than the mini Bug Out. To me, it was a nice size knife.
I thought, yeah, it wasn't small.
It was smaller, but that Growler XL is a frame lock, and it felt like a big American knife.
Yep. So, yeah, needless to say, man, my first blade show, I'm going to be honest with you. I almost wish it didn't happen this way, because now, like, how do I top it? You know,
you'll top it because you'll be so connected to more people next year.
Funny, you know.
I was talking to Derek earlier on Instagram, and he was like, you know, next year hopefully I'll buy more knives, be able to buy some knives. I was like, Derek, it's not I mean, buying knives are great, but we've all got more knives than we can shake a stick at.
Yeah.
You know, you were so refreshing to meet. You know, you're so enthusiastic. You're just, you know, a good guy. And that's what it's all about, is just meeting some of these people that you've seen online. And then there's some that you won't get a chance to meet. It's just a given. Dude, that's gorgeous.
I do. I want a black clip on it, like yours, for sure.
Casey will hook you up, dude.
But, you know, I said that on my video earlier. I think, like, more so than the knives, if I didn't.
True, Steve. If you want some good entertainment, go watch any disassembly video from Lefty from 2 years ago forward.
Yeah, they're all got. He's using Gorilla Glue on every one of them.
But
yeah, I made the statement that, you know, even if I didn't buy a single knife, like I had, it was still fun. And one of my favorite things was getting to meet everybody face to face. You know, I thought that was actually more fun than the knives. You know, but of course the knives.
Yeah, the knives attract everybody there, and what's great is you've got time for both, because you can't walk the show the whole time. You've got to sit down, and when you sit down, you inevitably bump into people. Now, one thing you can't do at Blade Show is try to coordinate with people. I mean, it's almost impossible, because it's such a moving organism, as especially if you're on mushrooms. But it's very much a fluid situation. So But everybody gets together and you go back to the pit after dinner. Everybody comes in there and that place gets rowdy. I mean, we bailed out every night before it got rowdy. But Thursday night, we went out to Stevie's Airbnb, which was one of my favorite nights, just sitting out
It
back,
was. It
visiting
was
with
so
everybody.
chill.
Weather was great. It was cool before the storm came in. Just a nice night. And hell, we were there till 1 or 2 o'clock.
It was a little after 1 o'clock. And I remember looking down at my phone. I was like, man, I know they had just traveled there like the day before or something like that. I knew they were tired. And then plus we all had to get up early in the morning, you know. I was like, man, these guys got to get some sleep. I was like, we do too. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, Saturday was sketch for me because the Tower of Gandar, absolutely. Shane thought he was doing me a favor and let me sleep till like 15 minutes before he left. Woke me up. I had to jump in the shower. Forgot to take half my meds. It was just I was a train wreck. And then we loaded up in a little Prius, which I fit in fine, and I got to get a good look.
I forgot about that. Oh my gosh! Let me see if I can pull a picture up of Shane. Listen, I ordered an Uber. Anytime I get to Atlanta, if I'm staying in Atlanta, I just Uber everywhere. So I ordered an Uber and I put on there, it was like 4 guys, which there's only 3 of us. But because 2 of us are just,
I agree, Stevie.
2 of us are just big guys. So hang on, I'm going to see if I can find the picture. But
Scotty was exactly like I expected him to be from all the times we've talked and just hung out in line and chats. And he had a blast.
So this little Prius comes pulling up.
Hold on, let me make you big for just a sec.
We give Shane could not fit in the door. I don't know if that's going to.
Yeah, that's his head up against the ceiling. You can't tell the ceiling's white, but that's Shane's head turned sideways because it's pressed up into the ceiling.
His knees are in the dash. That seat's all the way back.
If the airbag had come out, it would have collapsed him. What's up, Chef Rocky? I saw him and gave him a hug at Blaze Show.
So yeah, we literally just about had to push him into the car to get him into the car.
And getting him out was tricky too.
Yeah, oh yeah. There was a little crowd that formed watching him get out.
It was like a clown car unloading.
It was. So anyway.
He's over 6 feet, Rob. He's probably what, 6'3"?
Oh yeah, he's easily 2.5, 6'3", something like that, 6'4". He's tall. Too tall for that little Prius.
But it was we got there and it was an interesting driver. I can't remember where that driver was from.
Every Uber driver we got was from a different country, and those were a bunch of different stories all in themselves. You got Javon, before we could even get the door shut, just hammering down on the driver. Where are you from? 21 questions, and they're all friendly. That's what they do for a living.
Except for our last driver, when Shane tried to use the Air Jordan analogy.
Shane accidentally probably. She probably gave us a bad rating, honestly.
But I don't understand why she would get, unless she wasn't, because she made the comment about, I don't understand how people could pay that much for knives, and Shane just said, well, it's kind of like, a pair of Air Jordans.
It's kind of like Air Jordans. They're only worth like $80, but people pay hundreds of dollars for them. I was like, oh gosh.
I did not see any fixed blades, but Ryan and I did go over to Oz's booth late Saturday, and they had 3 Rosie XLs. Ryan tried to buy a regular Rosie, but it was one of the guy's personals. Did you see any fixed blades over there?
I did not see.
I didn't either. I think they were sold out of those.
But I will tell you this much: Rosie is next on my list after handling those knives. Not the XL. It's just way too big. But that regular one, it was that guy's personal knife. I wanted to carry it home with me.
Because that choice, and you tried to, and you would have thought he would have sold it because he could have made more. But I'm sure those things are special when they get them. Might be a Gen 1. No, but they were. It was interesting, the knives that were still around, but everybody seemed to sell out by the end. I mean, Colin at Mag 10 Knife Works sold out. Donnie sold out. What's his
I don't know
name?
if Sharif ended up selling out or not. He had a couple left when we left on Saturday and Sunday. I don't remember asking him if he sold everything or not. I know he was close to it, but
Yeah, but the buzz he
Sharif,
created for himself.
man, he got a lot of attention there. Like I never once went to his booth where he didn't have several people standing there talking to him.
Very engaged people too. They were
Yeah,
asking a lot
he
of
didn't get a
questions.
chance to leave that booth any at all. Like he did really good. I'm very proud of him.
Luckily, he had a little helper most of the time.
He did. He did have a little helper with him.
And then we had round 1 of the epic Yoo-Hoo drink off last night,
Yes.
which Stevie came out.
Stevie is probably still combing it out of his beard.
I agree, Chef Rocky. I think this year was more stoked for me than any other. And I think a lot of it was turned out to be a lot more than anticipated. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too, Stevie. I mean, I think he's off to the races.
Hey, man is wanting to buy one from him if he still got them. I told him to get in touch with Sharif. But
Hey Man was a great guy.
Man, dude, I love that dude. To have just met him, man. Like I wish he was sitting right here next to me right now. Coolest dude in the world, man.
Absolutely, and very low impact. I mean, so many people are. It's just a good time hanging out. And
Yeah, like he wasn't very intrusive or anything like that. He was just real cool, laid back. I loved walking around with Hey Man. That was absolutely awesome. Yes, he is awesome. Very awesome.
Hey Shady, what's up, brother? Yeah, he was great. War Room was great. Trying to think who else that I met. I got to see Scab a couple times walking around, and bumped into Satu Dave twice. Got to get 2 hugs from Satu.
I got to meet Satu. He was really cool. I liked him.
It's me, Luke, and I was just on therapeutic doses.
Saturday, we had one driver from Columbia.
Saturday, I overjudged or underjudged.
The driver said, "I'm from Columbia," and Javon immediately, "God, I love y'all's cocaine."
Well, that's because I'd drawn a dead card. No, Tip. Hold on, guys. Tippy's about to try to walk across my soundboard.
Oh, Tippy.
Tippy was sick when I got back. She was all jacked up. Back up.
She didn't get any shrooms while you were gone, did you?
I don't know what she got into. Hold on, guys. I'm going to have to fucking jockey her around.
Hey, get it.
There you go. Do your thing. Yeah, Tippy will trash it for sure. She's done it before.
Yeah.
But no, it was the Kaiser dinner was fun. I wish I'd talked to Vu. I didn't realize he was there. I saw pictures of people there that I guess I didn't put the face with the name, but I wish I'd talked to more people there. I talked to the people I kind of wanted to talk to, but I would have liked to said hey to Melissa, because I think this little knife she did with TKL is super cool. I think she's, from what I heard, is very, very nice. Did see Dark Water. I'm trying to remember what Dark Water looked like, but I remember meeting him. I met him at the concept booth. He was working the concept booth. Yep. And I did not see Kinman. Maybe I did. I'll tell you who I met was Alex Outdoor 55. Super nice guy. The guy that does all the testing. Saw Jared, saw Bees, and Bees, bless his heart, he needs to go to MC school.
Yeah, he does. So I'll tell you another knife that I want really bad. I want a TRM really bad. And
we got separated. Did you make it over there to look at that?
I did make it over there, and I went to their booth 4 or 5 times all weekend. And the problem I was running into is I wanted every one they had. There was no making a decision. Like I could not figure out which one I wanted. Those knives are great knives. That's the first time I've messed around with them.
And they're super nice people. And it took me years, but I collected everything they make except for just a couple of knives. which is the good thing is if you want to try out an atom and a neutron, because I think the liner locks, I tried a frame lock. Luke 10, Texas, I hung out with that young man, but I was trying to flip them at Blaze Show, and I know they're on washers, and they didn't seem as intuitive. I liked them very much. But when I saw Scotty's frag pattern, titanium neutron, dude,
Yeah, I think it's
sick.
sharp.
Yeah, TRMs are great. The Bulldog's a great knife. Now with that new bigger blade hole, it's
I almost pulled the trigger on the Bulldog, the full titanium.
yeah, they're good knives. I'm carrying
Really
a 20 CV Bulldog today, but the hole now is probably 3 times that size. It comes all the way down.
Yeah,
Where you can click it from anywhere.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they were extremely nice too, so
they're the first to reach out if anything happens in the community and we're doing a fundraiser. They are super kind. They don't want to be mentioned. They just want to know where to send it. Yeah, the Neutron is my number one too. The Bulldog's close, but I'm not a river lock or bar lock guy, even though this is probably as smooth as any.
That thing's really smooth. So
and they're affordable. Like in I want to say in G10, it's about $260 for an American made Magna Cut, and then about $100 more for titanium.
Yep.
And then a little fixie is under $170. I think it's $169.95 on their website.
I didn't really look at their fixies much. I was very enamored with all the folders on top of the counter, though.
And they're doing some amazing stuff with engraving, and their scales are just
they had some
big time.
up there.
Scotty's is gorgeous. Let me show you this real quick. Hold on. I was just looking at it earlier today. This is look at that thing. Is that not just sexy?
It didn't come up.
Oh, did it not?
Nope. We're looking into the universe here.
Let's start sharing again. Hold on.
Nothing.
Nothing. Luke sees it.
There you go.
It's just slow. But that's the frag titanium neutron liner lock. Yeah, I think my computer's whacking out on me. I think I'm low on this 10V Shaman would be sweet. Oops. But Lute had 3 amazing knives. I'm sure he's got more than that, but he had 2 Kaiser protos and a one of his protos. Unique, like nothing I've seen. The action on them were great. 2 Kaisers were gorgeous, but I think my favorite was his original design.
Yeah. I'll tell you who's got a really nice knife now is that Stevie's Spyderco that has those scales on it, the anodized scales, the Stevie scales.
Oh yeah, the ones with the big foot, with the big.
That thing was sick.
They're about to drop some of those.
Yeah,
they're going to drop us. I think they're PM2, or are they?
I can't remember what it was. I want to say, was it a Shaman?
It may have been. It may have been a Shaman. When I got over there, I was so enamored. I looked at his scales because he had them in the front, but I was so enamored with getting over, and I felt terrible because I doxed the little kid's face walking over there, and I didn't cut it out. I saw it in the video, but I had to walk around the booth to get to the side where the sparrows were, and that's just such a clean design.
Yeah, it was. I tell you, sitting there talking to him and him talking about it. Lynch Northwest has got some really exciting things happening for them. I'm really excited to see where they're going to be in a couple of years.
The mini areas? This little guy right here.
Sexy knives, man.
I love that little knife.
They did not have any minis there, Paul. How do you like that?
Me?
Yeah, how do you like the mini?
Well, when I first reviewed the full size Arius, my buddy A to Z has one locally, and I reviewed it and the Evo at the same time, and I just felt it was a little big for my hand and for my pocket. And then this came out, this is the one Lord Needham bought two of. This one's got the blue hardware, and I love it, but it's almost a little bit too small.
Is
It's
it?
not, but I think they could have split the difference between the two and it would have been perfect. Just like with the XL Rosie and the regular Rosie. I think they could do a XL or a Rosie L and it would just be a great size. But this is a fantastic knife. My favorite USA made carry folding knife is my Lamia, though. I love that knife.
That was a nice knife. When I was messing around with it in the hotel room, that was a
This is the guy who did the OEM work on Steve Kalari's knife that Shane got. So Alex has a CNC or several CNC machines, and if you look at that blade, which you can't see here, but it's got the grind lines in it, you can see them and feel them because it's all ground by CNC.
yeah.
But it's just done so well. Very slicey.
It got a
This
great
one-
action on it. It's
It
great
really
size.
does.
It was lightweight.
And I never was into this knife. And then Ethan Ruins, who wasn't there this year, had one last year that was a Gen 2 on washers. It wasn't on bearings like this one. And the ergonomics are what did it for me. It seems it's a very basic handle, but it
Mhm.
gives you just a really positive grip. And I think it would fit a lot of different hands, probably why it's popular.
Yeah.
But I think Alex is going to revolutionize small batch USA OEM manufacturing because he seems really dialed in. He seems to have the capacity to do some stuff. He whipped those knives out for Steve quickly. I'd love to have one of his sharks. His little EDC fixed blades are to die for too. But I think he's as busy as he can be. But Ryan, these drop every Sunday. I think it's almost every Sunday. Those are Oz Roosevelt's. I'm wrong. The Lamia's drop pretty often. He's making a lot of them. And you can also find them on Blade Binge. That's where I found this one.
I might have to look for one. Those are I really like that one that you had.
They're good cutters. I mean, to me, I use most of my knives. I don't use my Michael Ziba that much because it's more of an art knife. But everything else I'll carry and I'll cut with it. And I'll sharpen it if it gets to that point too. I've sharpened all my Hinderers.
I have not sharpened mine.
Hey, Geek Machinist. Well, you haven't needed to.
I ain't used it yet.
You won't need to for a while. You've got a few knives. That's the good thing about being able to switch them up. You just need to get you a good strop and just strop them after you use them, unless you cut into something.
So yeah, I've got some that I use some, and that's the thing about me is a lot of these knives right here I probably won't be using that much. You know.
Well, the great thing about
I fidget with them a lot.
Yeah, and if you enjoy handling them, if and when you ever go to list them, you can list them brand new in box.
Exactly.
Whereas-
No, I've got users. I've got some that I use and abuse, but knives that like the Sabenza and the Nkosi, I've got ones that I don't use that much. I just fidget with, and then
you've got
I've
your
got a
users.
Sabenza that I beat the daylights out of. You know. Same thing with the Nkosi. I've got one that I'm keeping new, and then one that I work with and toss in a drawer, toss in my truck, this and that. So
Start you one, geek. Start you a YouTube channel, buddy, and just share knives. That's what I've done since I got laid off about a year ago. Granted, I'm starving to death, but at the same time, I've got a lot more time to put in the channel.
I've been thinking about changing starting a
Terry Carr on
just for knives.
On which one, Paul? I don't think I have a Arius that Terry Carter the scales on. Now I do have the Evo that
Oh,
ProX Bill made the scales for.
Paul, did you send those to his Instagram? I know what you're talking about now.
Who's I don't if they're my Instagram, I'll show them. But that right there
That
is,
thing is sick.
dude. It's a thumb slicer though. It's got that one fatal flaw. If you're not careful, that
Yeah,
right
right
there.
at the skull.
Oh God.
That's what took Lefty's thumb off, ain't it?
It could, yeah, it took Lefty's thumbnail off.
Yeah.
But this is the one that came with just basic micarta inlays and then ProX 1840 put these on.
Yeah. That's a sexy knife. But yeah, what Paul's talking about, he's got a mini Arius that
let me go to the IG here. Let me find Paul's message.
Yeah. It's really sharp. We need to show that off. That is some really cool work there.
Oh, here. Yep. Let me pull this up. All right, it's supposed to be here we go. All right, let me share this. It's gonna be a video, guys. So I'm gonna make sure I've got it centered.
It didn't come up.
Did it not show?
Not on my end, it didn't.
The milling is sick. And it's anode blue. It's showing, but it's kind of jumpy.
Look, my Dixon is blue.
Paul, that is gorgeous. Did 1931 Leatherworks Terry do that for you? When you say Terry, he did it with the Dremel. Unbelievable.
So yeah, it's showing up on YouTube. It's not showing up on StreamYard.
StreamYard. No, it won't show up on StreamYard.
I got you.
I don't see how he kept those patterns so consistent.
Hey, play. Yeah, I was about to say, play that one more time. Let me see it.
I'm going to share it again because it was breaking away. Hold on. Tell me when you see it, and I'll hit play.
Yeah, I see it. God, it's so awesome.
It is. And that one's M390. Mine doesn't have the blade steel marked on it. It's M390, but it doesn't have it in that same place. Unless I just missed it. But that is outstanding, and it's unique. That's just a winner. Yeah, I'll tell you, scales are a great way to upgrade a knife. I mean, especially if you upgrade something like a bug out. It makes so much difference to put titanium scales where you had FRN. Same with the lightweight Spyderco or even a Para 2 or Mannix. I just think that the scale swaps are very, very easy on a bug out if you use one of OCD's tools, or I use one of the Pops tools. And they're very easy to pop out. You can really personalize a knife on a budget. You know, you wouldn't do it all at once, but you know, you can pick up a set of knife scales for anywhere from $74 to, if you like Met and Boss, $150 if you want something really fancy. But the installations are easy. Adding clips and back spacers are easy. And it just really adds a lot to a knife, in my opinion.
It does. You know, I've taken several bug outs apart for one reason or another and put them back together. I never really had any problems with it.
You know, as long as when you go to line up your washers and your blade to put your pivot back through, if you watch the video that'll go out tomorrow when I did the one for you with that pops tool, it's
You just stick that through there and it holds it together for you, right?
yeah. So I took
Yeah.
off the scale that where you can take the pivot screw out, slap that scale on, put the body screws in, turned it over, took the body screws out, and then got that pivot tool, opened the blade a little bit, pushed it through, kind of wiggled it, and then pulled back on the axis lock just slightly, and it just pushed through and pushed the pivot out. So everything's still perfectly in line, and you can operate the knife because it's the same diameter as the pivot tool. So I slid the scale over it. It literally took me 5 minutes. Slid the scale over it, got the pivot tool lined up, or the pivot, and pushed it through, pushing the pivot tool out, and it just goes right into the place. So you never have to move the washers or the blade to put on scales.
That does make it easy.
Yeah, it's really cool. The ones that I put on today, Ed, were 17 EDC, which is a company that is under the Get Good Screw umbrella, and they do really cool stuff.
Sweet.
But what I was going to show you
I'm
guys
excited
real
about
quick,
getting that knife now. It looks good.
you'll have it Friday. So I was going to show you guys real quick. On TKL's knives, he uses these little fasteners that he invented that use a T15, and they're just a bolt, right?
It's
So
such a
you
cool look.
take one side, just
Hey, good night, Neil. Thanks for stopping by, man.
like Neil. I'm going to swap these scales out real quick.
I love that hardware. That hollow hardware. I think it's such a cool look.
Yeah, and he actually had it done. So when you take these scales off, you'll notice that the tang comes to right there. So these guys come together at the butt ends. Put them on, you're just extending the grip.
Yeah.
But if you don't want an extended grip, these are Piranha scales, which are the same size as that other small TKL I have. But you can slap these on.
Here's Hank.
What is up?
He needs a haircut really bad. So he's
Did
getting
he
one.
miss you, or did Mama keep him company while you were gone?
Oh, yeah. Yep. He's getting a haircut this week, though.
Do y'all get the drive-by groomer to come
We
by?
do. And man, it's so nice. It's very convenient. She comes to the house and because we have 4 of these, and she comes by here and she spends about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and
it's so much less stressful on them.
thank you, Mick. It is. They seem to like it a lot, or they're more comfortable because they're here.
So now I've taken about an inch off the overall length of this knife.
That's the first time I've seen that with the short scales on it.
I prefer the short scales. I put the long scales on it just to try it. But I think the ring scales would be cool too. What's up, Brant? Hinderer collector. Hey, show Brant that Jurassic you got.
Hey, Brent, look what I picked up, buddy. What'd you think about that one?
Brant approved. He's a big fan of the Jurassic.
Yeah.
But
It's my first one, Brent.
I can tell you, for when I first got mine from Dark Gravity, who Ryan got to meet Dark Gravity on Saturday. He and his son came over.
Really cool guy.
Yeah, he's an excellent human. He was in the community real hot and heavy. And then when his wife picked him up, that Bog Oak Sabenza, he's got a fantastic collection. But he kind of shifted gears and just started kind of getting into collecting other stuff. You still got the clip original. Look at you.
Yeah, I haven't messed with it since I've been home. So,
and I don't even know what the advantage is to carrying it tip up. Because I mean, those and Spyderco's come with them set tip down. So there's got to be an advantage to it. Microtech, some of them come where you can't switch it. They're all like that.
Thank you, Brent.
They are addicting. That's what I was going to say. I first picked up that 3.0 after I didn't want it. Then I carried it for a week and fell in love with it. And I've picked up several Hinderers since then.
Hey, Brent, tell me what the H and these 3 dots mean. It's on the blade, if you don't mind, please.
The H.
I don't think it stands for Hinderer.
Yeah, because mine doesn't have anything on that side.
Hollow grind. Okay, that makes sense.
And then the 3 circles are.
Yeah, it's like a.
That's the tri-way system.
Okay, that has something to do with the pivot?
Yeah. So tri-way means this knife comes with bearings. It also comes with brass, phosphorus bronze washers and Teflon washers. So there's 3 different ways you can run it from Hinderer. S is for skinny, Brant said. And I guess the regulars don't say anything because mine don't. Yep. Those are your the ones that are silver go in your scale when you put in washers to make up for the thickness. And then the phosphorus bronze and the Teflon are interchangeable.
Okay. Well, cool. See, I didn't even know these were in there.
Yep, those are in there, buddy. That's what that tri-way is. I haven't messed
around with it much since I've been home with it. I've been pretty busy, so.
Hey, Brant, I'm sending it to your Instagram.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. You teach me a little bit about my knife.
Yeah, Brant can.
I know he can. That boy. He knows a Hinderer.
Well, I think we all agree that Brant needs to expand, but he's bought other stuff. He's got a lot of case knives, a lot of classic case knives, and that's what takes up a lot of real estate down at Knives and More. Is they've got such an impressive collection of pretty much like new cases. In one case, they're from 1929 to 1969. And it's just as far. I mean, the cases are full, and those knives are $300 to $600. So I'm sure when you're talking about real estate and merchandising, you've got to have the return built into those knives to make it worthwhile. Yes, I agree, Nick. I put skiffs in all my Hinderers.
Yeah, Paul, I was on his Instagram the other day, and I was wondering how much money he had tied up in Hinderer. What's up, Brant?
Hi.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
Brant took a picture of it.
I like that one.
That's the battle horse scale. Now those are more than 200, right? Or they just come on the knife?
200. Yeah, this is about 200. The just generic, ones are about like 65.
But I thought the horse was more than 200 because the regular titanium scales are 200.
Basically, like the ones you see, like the horse head, that's basically like textured with the horse head. There's ones without the horse head, and it's just textured. And it's also, I think, around 250 to 200, depending on which one you get, depending on what color you have.
$50 more.
And then, so to answer your question, here's a fatty. This is what a fatty aluminum looks like.
So it's got the F circled on it?
Yeah, that's what the F circle one. And then
is a fatty, is that like a flat grind?
No, this the fatty thicker, basically the fatty is technically an XM24, but shrunk down to XM18 style.
So your blade and your scales are thicker, Ryan. So if you look at an XM24,
it has a 0.85 thou thickness over like your 65 thou thickness, because a regular XM18 has that. So you're getting more cutting capability than other ones, are more thicker.
Yeah,
that's the one thing.
All right.
So you took a picture last week of all of yours on a blanket. What's your total number now?
I have 61 Hinderers.
Gosh.
Dude, that's awesome. And which one did you ask me if I saw? Because I did not see anything new there.
Oh, the
And I
new
talked to
aggressor.
Brian. Huh?
The new aggressor blade that just came out, pretty much a couple days ago. It's basically Hinder's like custom version of a Tanto buoy, pretty much.
Are there any
Did it
pictures on
land
their
it all?
site? Where can we see it if I find it?
I don't think they have them on their site yet because they just now released them at Blade Show right now. But there is a
I
video
didn't
of it.
see them over there. I didn't
Yeah,
see
they
anything
probably
new.
sold out
They
right
were already
away.
sold. Everybody
Derek
went
for
there.
real. Y'all say hi to Derek for real. One of my
What's up,
favorite
Derek?
Hey,
For
what's
real?
up, Derek?
finds at Blake Show. He was there, Brant.
Heck yeah.
Did I see you say you were going to come next year, hopefully?
Yeah. Here's my hollow. Yep, I'm going next year.
Yep. So
I'm
A
definitely
stands for
going
hollow
there.
grind.
So that is
Yeah.
right. Because remember, we were wondering if that was a hollow or a flat. I knew it was a slicer grind.
Yeah.
So technically what Hinderer did in the hollow grind is basically it's not your traditional hollow grind. It's basically like when you look at it,
Jim,
it's
there's no guilt here, buddy. Whether
there's a
you have
lot
one
more.
or 101. Sorry, Brant.
Oh, you're fine, you're fine. It's like basically if you wanted to get something, like if it's a hollow, basically it's like I think what Rick said in his video is basically it's not a traditional like hollow grind. It's technically like a little more thicker, but it's also slicier than what you're getting out of a knife, out of the regular versions.
Of the slicer
And
grind.
yeah, it's basically this is their version of their slicer grind, and the slicer grind's a lot more thick, like a lot more slicier than your traditional, like This is a Spanto grind. This is basically an XM18 Spanto, and it's actually a not Warncliffe, but a Tanto, but he ground it down to like a spear point, so they called it the Spanto.
And that's a flat grind slicer of the Jurassic. I don't know if it looks different on the
Yeah, it's
swag.
just a regular. That one's just a regular version.
Yeah, it doesn't have the H on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're saying. I mean, if it's a hollow, it's almost flat.
Yeah,
I think it just gets thinner. I think it's probably got a slight hollow.
To the thinness of it, basically to the edge is really thin.
Thanks, Josh.
But down the bottom of it, it's thicker.
Yeah.
That's how it pretty much is.
Well, cool, man.
Brand, is that a working finish that Ryan has? I thought it was, but I wasn't sure.
No, that is actually a bead blast, and those are pretty rare to come by.
Cool.
I actually own one. That's actually a one-off, actually, because some of those are like, some of those, if you get one like that style, you'll have like a one-off. Basically, like one of the workers will put whatever they want on it. That's what they call them in the Hinder communities. Like it's a one-off. I have several one-offs.
Well, sweet.
That makes it even better, Ryan.
Well, yeah.
I mean, in terms of if you ever go to sell it or to trade it, you'll have something there that you picked up at Blade Show 2025.
I'll just have to tell them they're going to have to call Brand if they want to know anything about
there you
it.
go.
Hey,
there
Brant.
That's my.
Look at that, man. That's so cool, Brant.
Oh, by the way, hey Ryan, I have one prototype. It's this Project X, one of the very first ones when they first started coming out.
Well, that's neat.
I have several. Cool. There you there you go.
God.
He took a picture. If you look on his Instagram of it.
Yeah, that's the one I saw, and I was wondering, like, just wow, I'm impressed.
And I will tell you right now. Ryan. I don't have a job. And you're wondering, how do I get all of these? I do laundry, and I save up my allowance, and after I save up so much, I have those for reward.
Well, good on you,
Since I've been trading a lot, I've gotten 6 Hinderers in the past week or so from trading.
Are you trading some of your traditionals, or what are you trading, Brant? I know you've got an extensive collection outside of it you never talked about.
I mean, mostly just I traded all my CRKs. I traded my Les George. I'm trying to think what else. There's so many I've traded. I don't even remember now. Geez, I don't even remember now. I've traded so many. And
Do you have your mind on anything that that's
what's
just like
that?
kind of a grail to you on Hinderer that's either older or
for me that's older, I want a Gen 1 XM18, the original one. And but that's the only thing I want. That's out of my range that I want to do. Ha! You're funny. You're funny, Ranger.
all you got to do is save it up, man.
Oh, and by
Whether
the way, Ryan, I don't know if you know this about me. This hat that you see on me is actually a very special hat. If you could see, it has Cinder Collector 41 and also Hinder's logo.
That's cool, man.
I'm the only one in the world to have this hat. And like, if anybody from the Hinder community, like anyone from here that wants one, they'll say no. Because I did not want, okay, so basically what I wanted was my logo. That was it. I got surprised by this because it's basically like my everyday hat when I go to shows, and when I get on here, it's my only way I can show it off.
I would be very proud of that too, man.
Yeah, I mean and also I am pretty much, if you want to know more about me, I don't want to take up Javon's live
you're here,
stream.
dude.
No, bro,
But basically I'm good friends with Rick Hinderer and all
okay.
his team. So if you go again next year and you say my name, they'll literally say, yeah, he's a sweet dude. He's a good guy.
Bump
He
into
knows what he's
Rick. I know
doing.
he was there, but he wasn't at the booth when I was there.
Yeah, he
I
walked
didn't see
around
it
a lot.
either.
Kyle Coonley.
Kyle. That's the oldest freaking. You're funny.
Hey, remember our Kaisers that we got at the dinner, Ryan?
Yeah.
I was looking at mine. Mine's
talking about the
1 of
Strider one?
100.
Do I, buddy?
Mine's
You got-
number 1 of 100.
Oh wow.
You know how they've all got a number on the blade of how
I didn't even pay attention to it.
Yeah, when you look at it, it'll say what number of 100 it is. Mine's 1 of 100.
Okay.
Whoa.
Well, that's actually pretty cool.
I thought it was kind of cool. It'll eventually be a giveaway knife. It's a nice, I mean, it's kind of gaudy, and it doesn't say the blade steel, but it says Blade Show 2025. And then it's got, I guess they made 100 of these. This is a good knife.
What's up,
It's got an adjustable spring, so there are actually 5 little holes in the liner, so you can tweak that compression lock.
I did see that. That was pretty neat.
It's really cool. Vosti does that too, and it allows you to dial in the detail.
Yeah.
Kyle, I hope you're feeling better, brother.
Yes.
So Brent, which Hinderer in your collection is your favorite one?
That is always the hardest question
Is
because
it?
basically when I get a new one, that is my favorite for a couple of months, and then when I get a new one, that's my favorite. So pretty much my all-time favorite out of my whole collection is I have a early Hinderer that's made 1996 when Rick Hinderer was in the firehouse when he was a firefighter. He built them all in that firehouse, and I went there to see it. And also, it's really cool because it's actually a hand forged by Rick Hinderer. It's a Damascus with cobalt blade, which is pretty rare to find. And
That's impressive, man.
oh yeah, there was 26 of them made, so I have number 26. Rick has the 2, and then there's a couple people from the Kinder community that has a couple of them.
I didn't realize the battle
cool.
truck pickups were so rare.
What is it?
The battle truck, what is it called? I'm saying it wrong.
Battlefield pickups?
Yeah.
Basically when they put out Battlefield pickups, it's pretty much well, I guess it is kind of rare because it's only like they do several like in a number. Like basically, I have 203, I think, and then 488, and basically like over the time, like they get bigger and bigger.
So what varies the price? My local knife store that trades a lot with people and keep pretty good retail prices. They don't jack stuff up, but they've got 2 Battlefield pickups One of them's like 15.
That's a Hinderer.
That is his early work before all the other ones.
That's so cool, man.
Rob, the smallest that I've come across that is very easy is the Hinderer XM18 3-inch. So this little guy, if I had a bug out, which I do, this is a bug out with meat and boss scales. It's smaller than the bug out, or right about the same size as a bug out. That's a Skinner blade there. I've got a 3-inch Skinner, but it's thin.
Are you talking about a 3-inch or is a 3-inch?
I've got is that a 3-inch?
Yep. Oh, by the way, Ryan, if you like slippies, Rick makes a
I didn't even know he made a slippy.
And it's one-handed.
Like I'm just now learning about him.
Then since you just added me on Instagram, I'm gonna give you everything about Hinderer if you want me to.
Yes, I do.
I will blow up your whole entire Instagram for you.
Hell yeah, man!
I want you to learn about Hinderer. Hinderer himself. Hinderer's been making them since 1987, and he has been doing it now, and he's his earliest.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I've got some information I learned that surprised me.
Oh yeah, it's Rick is like when you sit down with him, or if you like stand with him and talk to him, basically he loves it when people come up to him and he's like, I want to learn about your knives, and
he's
he will
my height,
tell you
Ryan.
everything.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a little dude.
He's a good guy.
I was talking to Brian, one of the main guys that was at the booth when I was there, and I asked him what percentage of their sales are XM18s. And I made a couple of guesses and I was off. What percentage of sales of Hinderer knives do you think are XM18s?
Probably 2,000.
No, what percentage? So if 100% of the knives are the knives they sell,
probably since the XM18 has been around since 2002 or 2001, I think. I want to say maybe 60%.
That's what I guessed. I was wrong. You know what it is?
What?
90.
Oh wow.
90% of all Hinderers sold are XM18s.
Excellent. 90%. That's a lot.
90%. I thought I told you guys that riding back that I was really surprised by that.
You may have.
And they've got the Jurassic, they've got the Eclipse, they've got the Fire Tack or the full track. What am I missing, Brant?
Basically, they have the Jurassic, Fire Tack, full track, half tracks. Basically the Jurassics, MP1s, Project X's. They got if you wanted like pretty much everything.
So think about this, Brant. If they sold 1,000 knives and you took all those other models, it would be 100 combined of all the other models and 90 XM18s. That was wild to me. I mean, it's great, I guess, from a manufacturing standpoint. Was that their first beefy knife, the XM18?
Basically, thank you. So their first tactical knife was actually the Fire Tack.
Okay, so the Fire Tack was number one.
Yeah, it was basically that, and then the XM18 came out. Actually, it was not called the XM18; it was called the Flame, or the Inferno, because it's basically a stretched version of the Flame. It's kind of more depends on what it is, on what you're trying to get in a knife. Like if you want something slim, get you a skinny, or get you a Fire Tack because they are skinny.
Or a 3-inch or 3.0.
Yeah, 3-inch is good. If you want something that's small, or if you want something about a little bit bigger.
I really like that one. I've never seen one of those.
That's a full track.
This is a very awesome full track, and I love this.
This is the half track, Ryan.
That's cool too, man.
This is a Warncliffe.
This
Well,
was
It's
the
that's
got a
very
cool.
different.
first blade to have the tri-way. And when Rick
And
was,
that's
and then
good.
when, So basically, what you want to know about the tri-way, basically you could take out whatever you want. You want the bearings, you want the phosphorus bronze, you want the Teflon, but also there's little steel like inserts for all of that, so that way you can put it in if you want. If you want that, you could take it out. You know, if you're messing with water or anything like outside, use the phosphorus bronze because it's easy to clean up, easy to use. It's what I always do sometimes.
Or if you're in a machine shop somewhere where you've got a lot of metal dust, it'll clog up your bearings.
Yeah,
Washers are going to be smoother. And to me, washers just feel good.
yeah.
Yeah, all my work knives have washers in them. Now, if I'm fidgeting with it, I'll use bearings. But anything that I'm using in a dirty environment, I try to. So, what are the nylon washers for?
Nylon is basically just, if you want to go old school. If you want to go old school, the original Gen 4s like I have are all in nylon, basically.
And
And
nylon is supposed to be self-lubricating and smoother
yeah,
than
you can
the
literally, I
phosphorus
could go
bronze.
outside if I'm in the rain and that water goes inside, it literally will just lubricate itself
Really?
over
Okay.
time. But you got to be careful because you don't want to keep that water in there too long because it does rust. I've had that trouble a few times. And it's
But
fun
the
to clean off.
best investment, I put this in all my Hinders. Let me find it. So let me
I
just see.
imagine like there's actually all of my hinders now are all on bearings because I mean I went through that whole stage of different ones. And what's cool about this one, not fire tech, but the is comes with a tool. You can take this out. Hold on, I'll show you this. This is really cool. Because Rick did this a long time ago when he designed this knife. If you wanted to not have to worry about keeping, your so he made a pocket inside for your tri-way. If you want to keep it in there, if you want to
Like if you
store
want
it.
to keep your washers in there so you can switch them out in the
Yeah.
field.
Yep. And then basically got a little pocket there. You just put it all back in and put the screws back in. There
Put
you
your
go.
Coke in there too.
If you wanted to. I had a buddy
Yeah, y'all
one
have the
time.
best cocaine.
I had a buddy one time, Ryan and Javon. He left 100. He was trading the knife, and he forgot there was 100 in there, and he forgot it. So it was kind of funny. It was a funny story.
Oh yeah,
So
it's a great place to store a bill.
oh yeah, I've kept $1 in there just in case. But yeah, and then you just put the tool back in, and it does not come out.
What I was trying to explain to Ryan, and I don't think they have a lot of different accessories for the HMBS system that's in the Jurassic. They now
Oh,
make
the
some parts.
HMBS, basically the Hinderer modular backspacer is basically a modular where you can put like this. Say this for example, like if you want a lanyard. You want a lanyard, you could put it in, screw this in, all of that stuff. You got a lanyard, and
They've
then
got a
if
little
you
can
want,
opener, I think, and a pry bar attachment, maybe.
you
Yeah,
could.
this
Yeah, I
one
think
has
there
the
was
little.
a bottle opener. Yeah, the only ones for the Jurassic is basically the pocket clip, the pocket hole. Yeah, that's what it is, and it is pretty cool. There's so many like let's see. This is why I love getting these out. I love this. So the one that has the very first HMBS was basically the MP1. This is the
Well, that's cool.
MP1. This is a early one with the HMBS. You can literally there's a little hole that you could put the screw in there. Take
And it
this
sticks
out.
out a little farther for the lanyard.
Yeah,
That one
you could.
does.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, just little lanyard thing. Yeah.
And is it just a T6 brand like the others that you take it out from the
Uh,
outside?
yeah, I think so because it's a that or it's a I don't know. I don't have to look at
TA
it again.
something.
But yeah, it's basically that. I mean, the one thing that they're gonna do. Hopefully, they make a tri-way version of the MP1 because that would be awesome.
Hey, Brant, El Cap Addict's looking for if you come across a user quality DLT sheep's foot. I don't see sheep's foot much, but that's a beautiful looking blade.
Those are so rare to come by. Not in a skinny version, but also just the normal version. Like it took me a couple months to find one, and I found one on. Oh my gosh, what is that? What is that store called? I don't remember now.
Did you find one new?
Yeah, I found one new, and I got it. And believe it or not, I mean it was. This one is the one I got, and it has the tri-way.
Let me find you, Geek.
This is my only try. This is my only
That's
version.
a good, gorgeous looking blade.
I like that.
Yeah, this
Is
one
that
is
G10?
Yeah, that's G10. You can
I
do
like
all like so basically, Ryan. What's good about a Hinderer is you can make it your own,
Yeah.
the way you want it. If you want something cool, you want black scales, you want black hardware, you can make that. Or if you want to just do, regular like me, because I don't really put much on mine. But sometimes I do, not all the time.
And what I do, Ron, I'll show you the one that I customized because I bought the hardware kit, which the hardware kit's 70 and then the clip's 114, Brant.
What is it? The hardware you mean?
Yeah, the hardware kit I think was $70.
Yeah, I think it was $65 or $70 too, depending on the style you want. I think that's what it was. I remember right.
And then I got the blue clip and the little thing I think was 114. Yeah. So I added, this was I think it's called Stonewash Bronze. My clips, it's a flipperless. Tri-ways on the bottom there because it's factory flipperless. But I upgraded the hardware just to make it pop a little bit.
What color is your hardware?
It's like a Stonewash blue or battle blue.
Yeah, basically the battle. If you're wondering
I'll send you a picture where you can see it.
Yeah. Basically, what the battle blue and battle bronze is basically it's a working finish, but they anodize it blue and then they tumble it.
Yeah, to make it not as shiny. Yeah. But you can go to DLT like right now, or you could go to a couple of others, GP Knives, and you can find hardware kits. But the trick is finding the colors to match. So I would love to do this one. This is just I think a working finish.
That's a good looking knife too.
But it would look so much better with offset hardware.
Oh, yeah. I love the half track. I have 2 half tracks.
It's a little thick guy.
I bet you do.
I have a Harpoon Spanto and a Spanto.
I think I found you, but it looks like you've got a Swiss Army knife, and then you've got the Kaiser. Let me share this. Tell me if this is your page, buddy.
That's nice.
And then this is a 2018 exclusive Spanto from USMA Blade.
That's a full track.
No, half track. This one's a half track.
What kind of blade is that? A Spanto?
Yep, that's a Spanto. I like the one thing about Hinderer is what got me really into him was it was just all made in America. It's all made in house. Everything in that knife you're holding is basically made in house.
Hey, buddy, keep posting. Your pictures are very, very good. I cannot take artsy pictures, and yours look very nice.
Oh, heck yeah.
And he's only got 4 posts up here. That's a great knife. That's the cool Big Idea Design Company Lookout. That's the one I've got that was made over by Best Tech and S35. They're also now making them in the U.S. in MagnaCut, right up in Chattanooga.
Yeah. Those are some good pictures.
That buck looks sexy. Yeah, I mean, the lighting's good.
That's awesome. I like that, man.
Yeah, gorgeous knives, dude. Keep taking them. Just take your time. And like I say, I cannot take I use an iPhone, but I can't take a good picture on Instagram. All my Instagram pictures are shitty. But they've gotten better because I used to watch Tri-State, and he used to do Instagram roasts where he would go around. Guys, I'm going to drop this link in the chat, and y'all go follow Geek Machinist if you're on Instagram. Help him get some followers. Where'd it go? There it is. Boom. He is in the chat. So click on him and go follow him.
Also, by the way, Ryan, since I'm not only a Hinderer collector, but it's I have a whole closet, not really closet. This is all Hinderer shirts. And
That's cool.
also,
You were
all
definitely a
Hinderer.
loyalist. Look at all your hats.
He is.
All Hinderer hats. I'm very loyal to Hinderer. It's literally when I got into him, and also there you go, Ryan. I even had the flag.
That's true, Jeffrey. They've resisted raising their prices for quite a while. I think you can still get an XM18 for $425.
The reason that's always been Rick's question a lot of years. Like what I remember hearing was back in 2014 to 15, no, actually no, 13, they were about $500 at one point for only for EMTs and also for firefighters and military. So then after that, basically, it's like so they changed it to $425. That's how it was. You can't get an allowance for doing laundry and only half of those shirts have been given to me. But well, some have. But
if I was Rick Hinderer, I would give you all the Hinderer shirts that you wanted.
Yeah, I've asked him. I've already asked him.
Yeah, because that's the least he can do. You're
I
great.
think it's really cool what you're doing, man. I think it's awesome. Keep going.
I mean, that's why my channel is Hinderer Collector, because I'll tell you the story on why the reason I chose that name is because one time my name was Skywarp 41. That was my very first name on YouTube. I wanted to change it because it wasn't going to be a toy channel. So I was like, I'll just do knives. So I did my first knife video. It was it was called I Found a Knife, and it was a SOG Twitch 2. And that was the very first videos I've done over the years. But the Hinderer Collector 41 is basically I had to ask Rick Hinderer himself if I can use his name as my YouTube channel. I told him as long as I'm not selling anything or anything with the name, I'm okay. So that's why I don't have merch. That's why I will never have merch. No shirts, nothing. Even this hat is only made from them. Like, I can't make shirts and give them out. Like, even if I made one for myself, that would be mine. So,
but he'd probably let you if you talk to him. I mean, I don't think he's worried about you marketing your channel. It's kind of a collaboration at this point.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool, man.
And Brant,
do you collect any other brands?
Back then I used to collect a lot of case knives.
Did you?
Yeah, for a lot of years. I had quite an extensive collection of them. But I traded them. I sold some. I got a couple still left. I mean,
I bet you traded them for Hinderers, didn't you?
No, I just sold them to get money to get more Hinderers.
There you go.
But it's, I mean,
I respect the hustle, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's Craig, it's Brant. It's Brant. That's how you spell it. A lot of people, I don't really care if you call me Brent. I don't care. A lot of people, you can call me.
I used to collect a lot of cases for knives, and then I swore I'd stop at 4, and now I've got knives laying fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
because I won't buy.
That's kind of what I'm running into now. I've got the left side of my desk. All the drawers is just knife stuff, my tools, and I'm out of room. The drawers are completely full. At the bottom drawer is where I keep all the boxes. The very top drawer, I've got mats in them and all my fidget knives. That way I'm sitting at my desk, I'm fidgeting, and I'll swap up knives, stuff like that. And the middle drawer is where I store just a whole bunch of knives. and I'm out of room. I'm going
I
to
swear by the Harbor Freight Apache 3800s. They're the same size as a Pelican case, but they're like $38. And then
Yeah, they're
after I
good.
pluck the foam out of them, I get a can of Plasti Dip and I spray a bunch of light coats on the foam to make it harder, make it more thick. And I've got 4 cases that I've had for 4 years that are full of knives. And then I've got a hanging sleeve that Blade HQ used to sell that was like as a joke. It was a big knife roll that you can hang on your door and it holds like 148 knives. It's full of fixed blades. And then I've got this behind me, this little case that's just full of fixed blades. And I've started to get rid of
toolboxes that are full of.
Oh man, Cole Tri-State has got 2 of those big rolling toolboxes, you know, totally full of knives.
But
He
nobody has a display better than Brant's Hinderer display.
No, dude, that's showcasing them. Well, you're a sportsman.
Okay, I'll
I'll
tell you. So
that you did a great job.
I will tell you right now that display is not an IKEA or anything like that. That came out of my mind.
You did a good job.
Built it. Me and my pops, like I drew it, he built it, and then now it's in here. It's like a dream come true for me. That this is my holy grail display because of what it is.
That is a great idea. And what you've got, Brant, is, and Ryan can appreciate it because he's a sports memorabilia collector. So yours is a presentation piece on top of a storage area.
Yeah.
Jim, those are really good cases.
Okay. I will say this. If you're a sports memorabilia guy, I'll have to show you something that I have. And it's a real deal because it was on the stage of when Georgia versus Texas Longhorns were doing the thing, and I was on the stage. This was in the stage, like where they, you know how they have the helmets on this. Yeah, this was.
So that was just what, last year?
Yes, this was on there, and I have it because this was a. This was actually just a gift because this was my birthday gift.
You could run through sheetrock in that. See, when they had upgraded helmets like that, when Shane played football, he was the only kid that didn't get one because they didn't make one big enough for his head. He had like a 1960s
This is a large, and I need to get I want a medium. This thing looks so huge on my head.
So I still have my football helmet from high school, and it will not fit on my head anymore.
Man, I'll even show you this,
Luke,
too.
without a doubt, there's a huge difference in the quality. And what I do with my Apaches, because I live in Alabama, is between each of my knives, I buy on Amazon these little troll candy packs, and they're not as airtight as Pelicans, but Pelicans are the way to go for sure. But you get a good deal on Apaches, and they've worked pretty well for me. Once I spray the foam, like if you don't, because the Now Pack foam is next level in terms of storage foam.
Okay, since you just said you were a sports memorabilia guy, I have to, let me see, where is it? Where is it? Oh, here we go. There's you, Dallas Cowboys.
Jimmy Johnson. Hey, that's a cool card, man.
There's Michael Irvin. There's Emmitt Smith.
I take it you're out in Texas.
He's in Texas. He's a cowgirl.
There's a rookie card of Zeke Elliott.
Well, that's cool. What was that, PSA 9? Yeah.
And it's graded mint, and it's a 9.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that means.
You collect cards too,
That's
Ryan?
a high grade. That's a good grade for that card.
Yeah,
you collect cards too, Ryan?
I do. I've got more cards than I guarantee you I'm knocking a few 100,000 cards.
Tell Ryan or tell Brian about the shoes you got from, is it LSU?
Oh, yeah. It was Paul Skeen's cleats he wore in LSU at LSU at the World Series. Hey, that card's worth a little bit, buddy.
Yeah, I heard that this was going to be worth. I have 2 of these, actually.
That's cool.
I have this one. Also, I have...
Jim, the Cattle's a great case.
There's a Kevin Durant one.
I know
he's got some cards that are worth a lot of money.
In my 3800.
Oh, wait till you see this one, Mr. Ryan. Shaq.
I like Shaq.
That's a Hall of Fame card, and this is a rookie, Hall of Fame card. What else do I have? I have a lot of different ones. I have, let's see. I have Shaq when he was in the Magics.
Oh, that's cool. You into baseball? Do you like baseball?
I do like baseball. I got a couple. Here's Michael Jordan.
Hey, he's got some cards that are in the $100,000 range.
Well, I'm keeping them, making sure one day if I need to, I could sell them.
Trade them.
I might do that. Oh, here
So
you go.
check
Here
these
you
out.
go. Here you go. Aaron Rodgers when he was in Packers.
Well, that's cool. So these are the second baseman for the Braves. These are the cleats he wore during the Mother's Day game.
Oh my god.
That's really cool. And these
Those-
are real pretty cleats.
Well, I'm sure they wore them just for Mother's Day, right?
Yeah, they're exclusive.
Hold on.
Dude, those are sick, man.
They are sick. I've been offered a lot of money for them. I'm like, no, I don't want to let them go.
Jeffrey, that's funny. Look at Jeffrey. They're out there, man. And I'm amazed by people that trade in Pokemon cards.
Oh,
Somebody's wanting something every day. But it is so cool watching those people get so tied up in knives, and you see people that like so many different types of things. I mean, it's Shane bought 2 blanks
Since
for
we're
hack.
showing sports memorabilia, let's see. I have a Tony Romo.
That's the choke sweater.
yeah.
That's the one that if you want to get.
Romo's
Beat up.
highlight was when he was banging Jessica Simpson.
Yep, in the pink jersey. I was gonna get one just because I don't care.
No, hey,
Shane can wear
Romo
pink.
he had his time. He made his money.
Yeah, he
Oh, you're about to
definitely
get.
is one.
You're gonna get jealous, Ryan. You're about to get jealous because I have.
Troy Aikman.
This is a 1996 throwback jersey. This is his. This one has the sewn in lettering.
I know, Luke. I'm sorry, dude.
So that's an authentic jersey.
This is very much an authentic one.
Well,
And
that's
then
cool.
here's my boy. CD Lamb.
So how painful is it be to be a Cowboys fan, Brant?
Oh,
I'm an Auburn fan, so I can appreciate it. I understand.
Okay, we suck. Okay, we suck. We have Dak Prescott.
Hey, I
We
like
can't get
Dak
away.
Prescott.
Yeah.
I like him.
And y'all will
I
get
have
there. I mean, something's got to click at some point. Do you think it's Jerry's involvement that brings him
Yes,
down?
it's Jerry's involvement because he can't get rid of somebody. We're trying to get rid of him for the many years. Never could.
Couldn't get rid of Tony Romo. That's just fucking the universe doesn't provide sometimes, dude.
Yeah. Oh, here's a rookie card for you. It's Mac Jones.
Well, that's cool.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, I got a lot of rookie cards.
Hey, I love Cigar Aficionado magazine, Craig. I used to be all over cigars. I
Here's
went through
one
a
you can see
phase.
through.
Is
Those
that
are
a
really cool
Falcons?
cards, man.
I don't even know who this is. There's Russell Wilson. I have Russell Wilson. I have Justin Herbert.
You need to trade him,
Oh!
man.
Here's a rookie card. Here's a
That's true, Ron.
Pudge.
But the Browns, at least, when they come through and they finally do something, it'll be kind of like a surprise. It'll be a surprise if the Cowboys ever do, but it'll be like, God, they finally got their money.
Oh, yeah, they finally win. Jeez. I mean, we had to get rid of our well, okay, yes, I get it. Mike McCartney did a good job as playing as a coach, but let's see how good this guy's going to be because I don't know.
It can't get worse, right?
I mean,
you gotta,
Bill Parcells was good. Jimmy Johnson was good. Tom Landry was good. I mean, what can you do?
well, when you got Jerry running it, maybe he'll have a stroke or bad luck,
Oh,
and
geez.
that'll give
Yeah, and
the
then
team
one
and
thing, and then the bad
franchise.
thing is, the bad part is when you say that, his daughter's going to take over, and then that's going to be even worse, or his son.
She could be better. They could be better. You never know. They could realize if they've watched the history of his
Oh
involvement.
man,
It's just one of those things, man. I mean, you get the talent, you look good on paper, and you fuck it up. I mean, it's just like, wow.
yeah.
So you're a Rangers fan?
Oh yes, very big time
I
Rangers
bet
fan.
you're a big Nolan Ryan fan too, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean when he beat up Ventura,
Hell yeah.
that
I'm
was
a
the
huge
best
Nolan
all
Ryan
time. I
fan.
even have a shirt saying "Don't mess with the Express." Like that was from 1990, and I'm born in '92, so it's literally like that was cool.
Craig, when I was the littlest kid, because we don't have a team in Alabama, I was a Dolphins fan for probably my first 8 years, and then I was a Cowboys fan. And I can't remember. It was Roger Staubach, I think.
Ooh, Roger Staubach did the Hail Mary with
They won some Super Bowls with him, didn't they?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, they did.
Yep.
And also in the 80s, and then also in the 90s, and then somehow I don't know what happened in the 2000s.
Oh, Jerry started going senile.
Oh yeah.
I've got a lot of it's not here. I got some stuff at the office. I got a lot of Nolan Ryan stuff. I'll send it to you on Instagram. I'll send you some pictures
Oh
of it.
yeah, because I want to get. I mean, I have for my my late birthday present, I have a signed autograph hat from Texas Rangers. I don't know who signed it. Still trying to figure out who signed it. Now that you tell me you're like aficionado of it, maybe I'll send you the picture of it. Let's see if you can get you guys to figure out who it is. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, there's definitely no need for this lanyard because, I mean, I've got big hands. You see how big this knob is.
Oh yeah,
Does
the
it make it
Freemans are
easier to
awesome.
pull it out of your pocket?
It's probably that's the only thing I can think of is to help pull it out of the pocket. It don't add anything else to the knife. Seriously, I mean it was on there when I bought it, obviously, but that's why it's still on there. You know.
That's why I take them off when I get a Chris Reeve. I just take them off. I don't care.
Yeah.
Do you take the scale off to take them off so you can put them back on?
Yeah, you got to take the scale off to get them, or you can just cut them. But
if you cut them, you can't put them back on, and those things are hard.
But a lot of times also, if you cut them, you can kind of feel a rattle a little bit if the thing don't even just completely fall out.
The pin?
Yeah.
I've heard that, and I've never done it, but I've heard if you put a little Loctite, not the kind that we have that's a stick, but the liquid Loctite in where that pin goes, it'll take the rattle out.
Yeah, it may be. So
yeah, Chris
on the ones that like I keep in their boxes and stuff, like to keep nice, I leave the lanyards on them. But if I'm carrying it, I take them off for sure. I mean, I don't have any need for it.
Where I find them helpful is like on Scott Aries EDC's little fixed blades, because it does, if it's tied tight, it does give you a little place to let your hand clip over.
Exactly. If it's short enough where, I need a little bit extra on my pinky, or even that fake bug out that I bought that I thought was real, I put a lanyard on it just to help pull it out of my pocket.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to get it out of your pocket. It really does, especially if you're wearing gloves or working.
Yeah.
Also, hey Ryan, do you trade knives?
I'm not like against it or anything. I
don't think he's got that far into the hobby yet.
Keep. What you got there, man? Oh, that's an Emerson, ain't it?
CQC's 15.
Well, that's nice.
This one's an old one. I've carried this for a lot of years. This is the only Emerson that still has the black paint on it.
Really?
Hey, Brent, who designed that Emerson Pakal? That guy who worked for the Colombian anti-narco.
That I don't remember.
Let me go to his name, because I met him in the pit. He was wearing sunglasses.
Oh, yeah?
And somebody was telling me a story. and I went up and talked to him about it. He was super nice, and he gave me
A
a
wild
pen.
story, man.
Yeah, he gave me this pen. It's a Speedy Gonzalez pen. You know the cartoon character Speedy
Yeah.
Gonzalez? He goes,
Mhm.
remember, Speedy was slow, but he carried a big gun. Dude, that guy's seen some shit. Let me go.
Yeah, some of the stories I heard about him that night,
I
he's a
forgot
true
who told me to
badass.
go meet him.
Oh, it's Ed Carlson. Ed Carlson. Kyle just said it.
Is that who? Who do you call that?
Ed
Oh,
Calderon.
Calderon. Yeah,
What's up,
Calderon.
Cheeto?
He was sitting in the pit. He had on was it a suit, Ryan, or was he just dressed nice? He was dressed nice, but he had
He
on
was
glasses.
dressed nice with sunglasses on.
He looked like a gangster.
I was so jealous.
He looked like a gangster, but super nice guy.
Yeah, he just looked like a gangster.
And he gave me a bunch of swag.
That's cool.
Yeah, most everybody there is approachable. There are a few of the, notoriously prickish guys, but most of them are nice. I'll tell you who I wish I'd seen, but I didn't go by Spyderco's booth, is Sal Glacier. He's a very nice guy, very approachable.
Oh yeah, he is. I met him and stuff. He actually, believe it or not, fixed this one for me one time. He was like, we were at the factory, and which, if I ever tell you this, he's gonna tell you no, we weren't there. But yeah, he'll make up a lie saying no, I never did that. He doesn't allow tours in the factory, but we got to because we were lucky.
And Golden?
Yes.
How
That's
big is
cool,
it, Brant? Approximately,
The factory basically is like a small warehouse. Basically, it's not even that big.
so it's not as big as you would
It's not
think.
even that big. In Benchmade, it's not even that big. But it's literally small. Like it's like a little room, and you just go in and you turn around and then you go out to the back. It's like literally that's it. Like they have machines on all sides, and then in the middle of it, they have all like parts.
It may be
All
slow
different-
poke. Let's see. I think you're exactly right.
I was about to say, because Speedy was not slow.
It's slow poke. Look, he's got his bag.
Oh yeah, senor,
No,
I can do the
Rodriguez.
slow bit, man. Let me tell you, I
Yes,
can
he's
do
holding his
it.
gun. And that's what he handed me. He goes, here you go. This is kind of my calling card. I thought it was cool.
Okay, it's okay for one, Cheeto. It's not a factory; it's a ranch. And two, you can go there and get a tour at.
So is
Hinderer.
Benchmade allegedly the biggest U.S. manufacturer, or who would that be in terms of square footage?
I want to say Leatherman because they added on to their factory years and years ago. So it's like, I don't know. I think so. I don't know. I wish Zach was here. He would tell you.
Well, because what's interesting is Benchmade makes everything here. I wonder what percentage of Spyderco knives are USA made. Like if you said which ones,
Oh
what percentage?
no.
I'm
No.
sure they're a lot more than Tai Chung.
Like this one, this one's made in Golden, Colorado,
Yep.
USA.
The
Earth.
Mannix, the Pair 2, the Pair 3, the Shaman, the Native. No, yeah. I think a lot of them are made in America, but they've got a lot that are outsourced too. My favorite Spydercos come from Tai Chung.
Oh yeah, I have.
My buddy A to Z, while we were gone, picked up a Sleece Bowie.
Oh, I held the prototype of that. I've held the prototype Nirvana before they were even like called the Nirvana. They weren't naming it yet, but they have like they were thinking of names and they were like, yeah, go ahead, give us a name. And then I was like, I don't know, I said some name and they were like, nah.
Which one's that?
Nirvana. That's basically the integral one made by Peter Vizinci. Well, I cannot think. What is he? It's kind of like his famous integral
I agree.
version.
And I love my American Spydercos, but I think the best quality comes from Tai Chung.
Huh?
Hey, buddy.
that dog's gonna be a Hinderer dog.
You gonna be?
And that's one of four, did you say, Ryan?
Do I know?
How many of those did you say you guys have?
We have 3 mini schnauzers, which is what he is. He's dirty, but and we have 1 extra large pit that we rescued.
Oh, they all
By
get
the way,
along
Ryan,
great. What's
also
up,
too-
Chino? What's up, brother? You at the Mannix?
Also,
Do what,
too,
Brent?
if you join the Hinderer group on Facebook, if you have a dog, they have a thing for people that have dogs. It's called Ranch Hounds, and
Okay.
you take a picture of your dog, you send it in, and they'll send you like a coin and also a little paper that says like, "Thank you for becoming like," and they'll send you like, you'll get like the newest and latest things from there
Okay.
that no one has.
Cool, man.
Todd, where do you think the best quality spider coats come from?
You're gonna be a Hinderer dog. You know that?
That's one thing cool about TRM is they're big dog people. They've got little French bulldogs, and they used to have a Yorkie as their sticker. If you look at a TRM sticker, it's got a Yorkie, but their Yorkie passed away, and that's why they named the bulldog because now they've got a couple of Frenchies.
Hey Luke, let me tell you, I was in 2013. I was literally not even, well, yeah, I guess I was 20 because I started my channel when I was 21. So yeah, so I think so I was 20 because I started my channel in 2013. So, geez, 20 years ago. Holy crap!
Time
But
flies, dude.
yeah, no, it does, and I don't even realize it until I'm like, golly. But yes, I held a couple of the prototypes there. They were literally just sitting in the display. They were like, yeah, you could hold it, I couldn't take pictures of it because they weren't allowed to, but I got to hold it, got to flick it. They were nice.
Yeah, Jimbo 2 is also a USA made. I'm trying to think what other ones.
Luke, I've been around a long time, Luke.
I bet the ones that you're sharpening that feel the best are the American mades in terms of heat treat and blade steel quality, I would guess. Because I sharpened my CTX Shaman and it felt great under a stone. Shane's knives, his thugs feel great. Now, that one that I had to sharpen for Bob DeMarco that didn't have an edge on it was a beast.
Shane's got a good product.
Shane's
he got a lot of good feedback. Blade Show.
He got great feedback, and I got messages today from Tim at Carry Development and from Jacob at Very Good Knife Company. And one of the things I thanked them for was taking the time at their booth to talk to Shane, because basically Shane was asking about this sheath, and Tim at Carry Development said, and we pulled it up on Amazon right there. It's like $143 for a t-shirt press, and that's what he uses to heat his Kydex. And then there's a $148 form on Amazon that you press the Kydex in with the knife in it. And he bought that. And those are the 2 pieces of equipment he uses to make all of his Kydex sheaths. He told Shane that that's probably the easiest way to go.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody, all of them in the messages said, look, if he has any questions, have him call me. I mean, they'll take time out of their day to talk to him. Because I mean, like Jacob told me at his booth, he goes, I could get hit by a truck tomorrow, and my kids aren't doing this yet. So all my knowledge for the last 15 years would be lost. He goes, why wouldn't I share that? Because we were talking about gatekeepers and the fact that most of the people I've met have been very open with their information. He goes, well, when you get in the guild and you learn about apprenticeship and making knives, you learn that you've got to share that knowledge to really be, a true maker. You want to bring people up. And that's what Shane said, which I thought was really selfless of him. He said what impressed him most about Blade Show is he met about 4 teenagers, different places during the show that were all knife makers.
Yeah.
And Shane said the quality of their knives gave him hope that the American knife making is going to be alive and well for years to come.
I made this.
That's pretty pokey. Did you ever, are you still working on Rick's knives?
Yeah, I'm still working on them. I need to get some better steel because the steel I got is a little thin. I didn't realize I made the blade a little too thin. So I got to get some better steel so I can do it because I'm getting a shop soon. So I'll
Ed,
need
he
to get
did.
some.
And I think he'll tell you the most value he got was he was able to put his knife in some super experienced knife maker's hands. And he asked for, hit me hard with it. Tell me what you change. And he got a lot of love. I mean, people didn't believe, Shane's not even been making knives a year. I think next week or the end of next week, it'll be a year since Shane made his first knife that he wanted to show to somebody. And that's coming a long way in a short time and learning a lot of that stuff. Yeah, from good help from good people in the community, but also figuring it out. He got into a place where he wasn't doing his internal heat treats. He had blades at 2 locations and didn't like having his future outside of his hands. So he bought a heat treat oven and learned to heat treat in like a day. And since he got some help from somebody in the community that helped him with recipes, he's hit his numbers within 0.5 every time. Except for one time he had it set wrong on Nitro V. But besides that, I mean, he's going to do great.
I think he's
Yeah, I'm
going to do
excited.
some really big
The
things.
Thug is just an amazing design. I mean, I like his other knives too, but the Thug is one that instantly attracted me to it. It's just a great design.
Yeah, he's got a lot of exciting things that are to come as well.
Yeah, he did some great networking, Ed. Met some really good people, good partners, and got some great feedback and some, I think, really good advice on ways to do things that could not only speed up his process, but increase the quality of his product. Yeah, Paul, the Thug is great. You've got one, don't you, Paul? A Thug? Because I handled it for the first time at Blade Show. That's the first time I've held one of Shane's knives was at Blade Show, and I was blown away.
I really like the one that the Warncliffe one he makes.
That's the Thug.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that the Thug? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me pull it up.
I really do like that one.
Yeah, I mean, his designs are, and he's going to a show this weekend that's a totally different kind of show. I think it's a survivalist show, and he sells
Oh,
totally
yeah?
different types of knives. Yep, he did good there last year. But if we go to his Instagram and we go right here, whoops,
Oh, look at that.
that's the Thug. That's got a Sawtooth hollow grind. He also does that in a really nice flat grind. I have a joke wolf too, Paul. I talked to Ben. I had a really nice talk with Ben Belkin, and he's doing that collaboration with Serbius
Yes, he
knives on that
is.
modern knife, and I handle it, and that thing is nice.
Yeah, me and Ben are good friends. I've known him for a couple of years.
Ben's a really good guy. Here's Shane's knife that he picked up.
Oh yeah, the Freeman. Freaking no, the Treeman.
Freeman, but I don't know what the model is. The only
That
thing I
is
don't
based.
like,
That I think that is. Hold on, I'm gonna look over USB blade.
and a lot of makers do this. My buddy Colin does it. He says on about 60% of his knives because the people that buy them want it. These shadow box scales where you can see the tang underneath them. I prefer a flush scale,
Yeah,
but that's personal preference. But that's the beast of a
I like it
knife.
hollowed out just to give it some feel, but sometimes I don't.
There's a flat ground Thug. But it just fits your hand perfectly. It's just a really slicey knife.
The thing's really comfortable in your hand.
It really is. And I think it's comfortable on a lot of people's hands, Ryan.
Yeah. I think it's just a universal. It's a good universal knife.
I just can't wait till Rick likes my knife when I make him. He's gonna love
SD
it.
Knife Monkey, what's your channel, buddy? Hold on, let me find it.
I'm also Ryan. I'm making Rick his knife and also his wife. I'm making both of them one. I'm good friends with
So are
both
you
of
making
them.
them a fixie?
Yeah, I want to see. Well, I don't know if he's going to use it, so I'm making it where he can like display it, or he could use it, or my knife company is going to be called Lane Cutlery. which I do have an Instagram for that. There's
That's
nothing
got
on it.
rings to it.
Well, there is a few things on it, but it's been kind of dead since I've been kind of trying to build my shop. But yeah,
Hey guys,
Oh,
go
that's
give
cool, Todd.
SC Knife Monkey a sub. He is in the chat. His link is pinned right up there. Where'd we go? Stop sharing.
there we go.
Yeah, I'm running out of I've got to clean some shit out of my computer. It's struggling.
Uh-oh.
So you've been doing lives, buddy? Sweet.
Yeah, man, we're going to check you out.
Definitely. I'm sub.
I'll definitely sub you.
I'm subbing right now.
It should be. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll pin it for till the live's over. It'll be pinned up at the top of the chat. And everybody in here go sub to SC Knife Monkey.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
subbed.
Heck yeah.
Todd, what size are you looking for? Something with like a big 5-inch, 7-inch blade?
Dude, that XL would be perfect for that.
That XL Thug?
Yeah.
Do we have any pictures of that? Hold on a second.
That thing is freaking dangerous.
Who got that tree stab? Who picked that up? I remember when they
I
got
can't
it.
remember who it was that got that.
Where is that big bastard?
So what kind of steel are you using, Brant, for those knives?
For me, it's like a lot of people use Magna Cut. I want to use like what Strider uses is basically Z-Wear.
Okay.
That's like
Todd,
very.
here's the beast.
It's pretty much. Oh my gosh, that is a beast.
That's the Goon XL 4V at 65 HRC. I was looking for this. I don't think we got a picture of it in here. The XL Thug. That's it right there, isn't it? Can y'all see the one on the far right? See these thugs over on the far left? The little short one?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then this one on the right is a huge thug. Who bought that? Who wanted it?
I'm trying to remember. I don't even remember now.
What? So when I show a comment, it takes that away. Does that take that away for you guys? I'm not. Am I sharing anything now, Todd?
Yeah, now you're saying. Yeah, I can see. Well, now.
Well, when I went to share the comment, it took it away. That's jacked up. Hold on, here we go. But yeah, the Thug here on the right is, I want to say it's a 9-inch blade.
Jeez, that thing's cool.
That's it before handles. Just an absolute beast. That's the little fret. That's my little design. And there's a regular Thug, which is just gorgeous.
Oh,
and I think that's Mad Yako's knife. But Shane's killing it, and he got really good feedback, and he's making knives, guys, on the most, I would say, antiquated equipment. For him to be producing what he's producing with what he's using.
It's
I would say I used, for me, like when I make my knives, I use just a cheapo grinder, but I found one on basically, I think it's called Grizzly Belt Sanders. I found one that's a good one that a lot of I asked a lot of knife makers that have those and are good. Wilmot grinders are good, if you ever heard of those.
Grizzly makes good stuff.
Yeah, they do. Oh yes, I did one in one.
Several Grizzly machines in my shop.
Yeah.
Is it variable speed, Brent? Can you turn it way down?
You can turn it way down. You can turn it all the way up. You can do. There's several motions you could do. You can even turn it sideways, vertical. You can do several things.
Very cool. I know the one that Jacob uses at Very Good Knife Company. When I watch his lives, he's got these like parts that go to the grinder that are templates, I guess. And it makes it look very easy because he uses it for his sheaths. He uses different belts, of course, but he uses it for his knives.
Yeah.
Let me find him real quick. Because I'm telling you guys, I look at a lot of fixed blades. And luckily, my local buddy got addicted to his stuff. But if y'all aren't following them, he does lives almost every day from the shop. And he does a good job because he doesn't really address the camera that much. But if we go to find one here that's live where he's actually doing something. Handle work, finish grinding. Watch this. Let me stop sharing and share again. I'm going to mute it. It started because I've just got. There's his grinder right there. And he's got this template thing. And so what he does is he just kind of has a table full of knives and he'll put the camera on it. And that's his main grinder. He uses that for just about everything, his Kydex. But when you watch him get to work, he just knocks them out. Turn it up for just a second. A tribute, a revelation, a hawk, a rambler, an adventure junior, and a mantis. That's what we've got. And then I've got some signature series blades as well. See that little tool he's got, that thing he's going up and down with? He's got the knife clamped in there. And it's just taking the material off to the level that he wants it. And now I'll switch it out for another one. Tribute. That's how quick he grinded it. Then he'll get another one. That is, look at that. I mean, doesn't that look like a faster process?
Yeah. I've seen some, I don't know if you've seen it, but Javon, there's actually one that's called a V grinder. And you can make a V-shaped, like, bevel in no time.
Well, what's amazing is Shane was asking in the live, doesn't that burn the edge? And Jacob was saying this moves at such a slow speed. It's so variable that the speed's not fast enough, but you see those sparks and you would think that it could cook the edge. But this guy's been doing it, even though they've been in business, I think going on the second year. He's been grinding knives for 12. He worked for his dad for 10 years. But yeah, I mean, he just knocks them out. Look at that little hollow.
Oh, wow.
And if you look at his hollow, if you look at his plunge grinds, because now he's doing the little bevels on his plunge. And he'll show it here in just a second. Get bigger. When he shows this, then we'll stop. But this is impressive. Whoops. Because, I mean, it takes him no time. Look at this. Went from a hollow to a flat. Look at that plunge, how straight it is. I don't pick up another one. And I mean, blowing metal. He just uses the pressure to like pull it across like you would on a strop. But look how smooth this is coming out, because I think this is his finishing belt. What's he doing? But I mean, they're all different sizes. That's why I don't see how he could. And he finishes his handle on that same machine. So I don't know how much a machine like that costs. I'm thinking thousands of dollars just by the way it looks. But he's got a process. And when you watch his videos, you can see him do everything. He shows he's got an oven over there to the right of that rack, just like a kitchen oven that he uses for Kydex. So you've stumbled into me having a grinding session.
And I've just finished with the 60 grit. Now, up next is a 120 finish.
Oh, so that wasn't
Before
a few
we
tries.
move on to that, we're actually going to go ahead and finish the sides of the knife out all the way.
So he basically tells you step by step what he's doing to get his knives the way he does.
When I do it like this is because this 60 grit will leave a fuzz above the line because of the coarseness of the belt. And the 100 grit does not, the 120.
Look at how that line turns.
As long as you are precise with your, hitting your marks. The thing is, I don't want to have to go back and forth 10 times. I have to go back and forth.
Look how straight that plunge grind is.
That is very straight.
Enough. So what I'm looking to do is get my edge thickness and cheeks, the grind lines as close as possible. And then I will go ahead and finish the sides and then finish the bevels. And it's easier than going back and forth one at a time. So now we're going to move back over to the surface grinder.
So he's got two grinders.
And we're going to swap this 120 out with
Hey,
a 220.
Devon and Ryan, I want to thank you guys for letting me on and hanging out with you and all
It's
that.
getting late for you, buddy. We're about to get out of here.
Yeah, I gotta get off here. Gotta get up early. Gonna go see Mission Impossible.
Enjoy it, buddy. Hey, Brent, I'm
I
glad
appreciate you coming on. Appreciate
I love
your
coming on
information.
here, and I finally got to meet you, Ryan. So that was cool.
Yeah, man, really cool to meet you too. Thank you for all the information, buddy.
You're welcome.
And Brent's always
Later.
available if you got a question.
Yeah, I'm always here. I'm always here if you need a question about
I'll
a
hit you
Hinderer.
up. I got plenty of them. So
All right, later, guys. Y'all have a good
Later,
one.
buddy. Have
Stay
a good
sharp,
day, tomorrow.
guys.
you too, buddy.
I think I showed off everything. I'll tell you what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to Lucky Dog Knives and show you guys. These knives are designed by Alex or Andrew Kidd. He'll be a guest on Friday Night Flicks. And he designs them here. And instead of going to China, he found this guy, David Mary Customs in China, or excuse me, in Canada, who hand makes these. So he only does like 7 at a time. But that's the Bulldog. Can you see that? And that's a little
Yeah, I
guy.
can see it on my phone. Yeah.
That's a little guy, this size. And then if you're looking at a little 6-inch or more knife, he's got these guys in stock. This is the ranch or the guard dog. They're longer. These are all AEBL steel, all handmade. And then he's got these. I've got one of these in 3V, but he's doing these in AEBL. And then he's got a new design coming. That's this one, the River Dog, coming this summer. So Lucky Dog Knives is cool in that Andrew, you guys will meet him Friday night if you come by Friday Night Flicks. He is a young guy, very artistic, very much a knife guy. And then he sought out David Mary Customs instead of going the route of doing 300 knives. He only does 10 of each style, gets them made by hand, sells them, and then gets another order. So it's pretty cool the way he does it. And I'm a big supporter, and hopefully you guys will stop by Friday night. But one of the things I did at Blade Show is I talked to a lot of people that will be future guests. I talked today to Carry Development. Tim is going to be on one night, and then Colin McGuire from Mag10 Knife Works. I'm trying to get Igor from Straight Line Knives. Igor's over in Italy, so the time is a little bit tricky. I might have to do an off time live just to give him where we kind of meet in the middle, because I think if he got on a Friday Night Flicks, it'd be 4:00 his time. Ryan, you got anything to say to these guys before we bail out of here, buddy?
Just everybody stay safe. I hope everybody has a good week.
It's going to be a great week, hopefully, for everybody. Ryan, are you going back over to Mississippi tomorrow?
No, I probably won't be back over there. It'll be the end of this week, first of next week.
I got you. So you're just doing it, getting it done from home.
Yeah, I've the crew's been doing really good. They're ahead of schedule and they're very well acclimated to the job site and the superintendents and stuff like that. So they're pretty much on cruise control now. So I can actually kind of back off a little bit and let them do their thing.
Well, dude, you have a great week too, man. And I appreciate you again for Blaze Show, sharing your epic experience and getting me over there to be able to enjoy it.
Appreciate y'all going with me. Y'all made it worthwhile.
It was a blast. I'm going to call. I wonder how Shane's doing. He said he was going to go to the shop tonight. He might still be down there.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Bluminati's link, guys. And we're going to do something. We were talking about it while we were over there. It just kind of rolled right into Blaze Show. So we'll be putting together some live with something where we do something for Bluminati. But he does have a GoFundMe. They lost their house in a tornado middle of last week. Just devastating. But the community's here for stuff like that. And I know a lot of people are already doing a lot for Bluminati through the GoFundMe, but we will do something collectively as well. But guys, have a great week. Thanks for stopping by. Come Friday, we'll have Andrew on, and Ryan will be back if he's available, and Kyle hopefully be feeling better. Maybe get Shane in here to talk knives.
Yeah.
But do me a favor, look out for the guy or gal to your left. Look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart, and always use debate, not hate. Peace.
Peace out. Good night, everybody.